Yo. Hello there. Everything working, looks good, looks good. Alright, let's start with the stream for today. Today is gonna be another educational stream. We're still waiting for an ESL announcement or a new patch or both. So, yeah, I'll be doing more stuff like this. I don't feel like playing any tournament, cross server and stuff. It's not really fun to me, so we're just gonna do this today. Honestly, I don't know how it's gonna go. Today we go for micro focused build orders. And I thought about one thing, and that is to like win the game with like good micro, of course. And you kind of neglect the other thing. So I'm not gonna just play a regular game. So I'm gonna heavily focus on the micro. And we're even gonna like over micro. So
not enough minerals.
To show you that you can also win games by just microing and not just by macroing. Yesterday we did the macro. Today we just do the micro.
Not enough minerals.
So let's do that.
SCV ready. Move it. Go ahead. What's going on? Big job.
So we're gonna not focus as much on the build order. There's just a few basics you need to know for the build order. It's gonna be a TVP. I'm going to be playing a double gas opening. And I'm going to open up Reaper Hellion, put on aggression, and we're gonna expand. More you don't need. That's all you need to know. And then my main focus will be all about the micro and the aggression. So I'm not gonna like follow a build. The only thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be aggressive with my Reaper Hellion forces. And I'm not even gonna macro, I'm just gonna make STVs, and that's the only macro action that we do. STVs. We just are gonna be very aggressive with our units. And we're just gonna, yeah, not follow a build at the same time. We're just gonna make STVs. That's the only requirement. That's the only amount of like multitasking that we want to be doing, basically.
In the rear with the gear.
That's the plan.
What's going on?
So yeah, this is the only build we follow. Like these steps, we build the factory, we put workers off the gas,
Command center
we make SCVs, and then we put down the command center, and we just make Reaper Hellion until the aggression is over, basically. Or if we get cheesed, like obviously, if we get like one base all in or something, I'm gonna try and defend against that. But yeah, this is the build. We go down with the SCV, we just get the command center, and then we put workers back into the gas, and then we're just gonna focus on the micro. Nothing and the micro. We're gonna make Reaper Hellion, so there's a stalker. Not much we can do. But yeah, we're just gonna make SCVs, and we're just gonna make Reaper Hellions, and obviously like a supply depot to not get supply blocked. Nothing else. Reaper Hellion aggression. We just make SCVs and Reapers and Hellions. First Reaper scouted the expansion, and now we dive in with the next units. And still, just Reaper Hellion SCVs, Reaper Hellion SCVs, until the aggression is over. Usually, that happens pretty soon. So here we go. And we just dive in. And the only thing that we do in the macro, in the background, is make SCVs. We don't follow a build, we just make SCVs. SCVs and Orbital. And Reaper Hellion. So this was good. Let's make more Reaper Hellion. Let's make more SCVs. Let's make the orbital. No build order, nothing. Just these steps. This is probably gonna be the last round of Reaper Hellion. And then we're gonna have to make a transition. So here we go again. More units. And we just deep dive once more. We just take the fight. Make SCVs. Make Reaper Hellion. Like, as long as your aggression is going, just make Reaper Hellion. As long as it's still going and you're not getting, like, pushed back or anything like that. The only thing we want is make SCVs. That's all we want. And we solely focus on the aggression. And SCV production. Make SCVs. And focus on the aggression. Make SCVs and focus on the aggression. And as you can see, we're just winning the game with micro and making SCVs in the background. Basically. Okay, now I think our aggression is over. And now we need to macro. So you see, I have a factory, I have a barracks. First make a bunker to not die. Then we make reactor and tech lab. And then we just follow the same steps like we did yesterday. We just go into 5 barracks, like double eBay. We drop the mules. We fix the rat numbers, how I like to call it. We mine properly. We like shift click the SCVs. We make a siege tank. Against like a Stargate, we make a Cyclone or whatever. We have more Hellion Reaper force. And we make some supply depots as well. That's way too many units. I think now the micro is over. Now we just follow the basic build order steps. So 5 barracks, we need a starport. We just continuously make SCVs. And like, this is not a build, but like the game is now playable. Yeah. We're building some tanks for safety. That's just one thing that you kind of want to do with this sort of build. You want to build some safety tanks against Protoss. You can always do that. Some safety tanks. Oh, there's some stalkers here. We obviously need to be careful against that. If you focus so much on the aggression, you need to also follow it up sometimes with like proper macro. And as you can see, he actually has a lot of units. So in this case, I think we can agree that we did tons and tons of damage. But as you can see, in the end, you need some sort of macro. So we're not able to win this game. The aggression that we put on, I think you can see, like this was a master level Protoss. And you could see just by putting on the aggression, we did a lot of damage. And just by the micro alone, we got into a good position. Like if we just go back in time, and then we just see how the aggression went. We killed stalkers left and right. We killed, how many probes did we kill? We ended up killing 7 probes, even more now here in the main base. We ended up killing 10 workers. So this is how the aggression went. We killed 10 workers. We're up 7 SCVs. But yeah, obviously this is the micro lesson. So like the aggression, it was perfect. The macro, it wasn't. So how did I lose the game? Well, we didn't follow a build. We followed the basics. But the main point that I want to bring across with this lesson is, why did I lose the game? Well, I'm actually winning this game super hard after my aggression. It's just that I'm like overly like, or I'm not really like making a transition. And my opponent in this case played better by going like for a 5-gate or 4-gate blink follow-up or something like that, right? He did an all-in. And in this case, he got lucky because it was the right choice. However, I did not lose the game because my aggression was bad. I won, I had a strong lead in this game because of my aggression. So just because of the aggression, just because of the micro, we're able to get a huge lead in this game. And that's the only thing I really want to bring across. So obviously, if we fix the macro, like if I'm fixing my macro, because like, look at this. I'm not even sliding SCVs. I'm just making SCVs. That's the only macro I do. So if we go back in time and you just look at the production tab, it's really the only macro I do is make SCVs. And that's really the only thing you gotta do. Like, that's the most important. So just by making STVs and by putting on my Reaper Hellion Aggression, I was able to put myself in an amazing position this game. But obviously I'm playing at master level, and if I don't macro at all, like here in this case, like I'm not even sliding my STVs, I think you can tell why I lost the game in the end, right? I think it's very easy to tell how I ended up losing this game in the end. Yeah. But other than that, perfectly fine aggression. It went really well, and if I make my barracks faster, I would obviously just win the game. Maybe I overdid it with the Reaper Hellion as well. Maybe we should just do 3 and 2, and that's it. Maybe we should not go for more. I did too much, maybe. I'll try next game with 3 Reapers and 2 Hellion Aggression. That's usually a very good build order as well. What about playing on Wardy's Monday tournaments? I don't want to. I hate playing cross-server events, so I don't like to play in those. Crossover, I just don't want to play on NA with like latency issues and stuff like that. If there were more like European events, I would play in them, but I just don't like playing in crossover events. It's not very enjoyable playing on like West against the Koreans. NA West. Let me finish my coffee quickly. And I have 1000 minerals, yeah. Today's lesson is not about the macro. Today's lesson is purely about the micro. So we don't macro today. We just do it like as basic as we can possibly do it, you know. To just show you how simple it is to win games, basically. That's like the only thing I want to teach you. I want to teach you how simple it is to win games. And like I said, even though this game we just lost, like look at the graph in this game. Look at this. I got so far ahead in this game. Look at the graph. This game was going somewhere, basically. And all of that just because I moved some Reaper and Hellions across the map. I could teach this like I could teach this a Platinum Terran, and he could win games against a Master Toss. Well, not like that, but maybe if they get lucky. Okay, let's play another game. Hi, good morning. Good morning. According to you, where's the point of stop attacking? I don't know yet. I'm testing some stuff myself. I think we should do 3 Reaper and 2 Hellion Aggression. And in TVT, maybe something else. In TVT, it should be something else, maybe. I don't really know on TVT. Reaper Hellion is not that good anymore. You can still do it, I think. Some Reaper Hellion Aggression. But it's like, I can try. Let's just try. I don't know. It's not optimal anymore on TVT. Like, in the next patch it's gonna be better again, but yeah. Once again, we're gonna go for an aggressive opening. And we just wing it, basically. And we just try and deal massive damage early on in the game. That's today's lesson. Early game aggression and like early game micro in this case. Pure aggression. No macro at all. No macro at all, basically. The only macro we do is we make SCVs and we follow a basic build. There's not a build order like I described yesterday. Like yesterday's build order, it was very detailed. Today's build order is going to be very basic. There's obviously certain things that you have to know. Like if you play StarCraft 2 Terran, what you have to know, what is like absolutely mandatory, and that's why I call it basic. You have to know when I talk about a double gas opening, you need to know how it works, you know. So how does the double gas opening work? Well, you take 2 gas, you continuously make SCVs, I don't want to explain that. You take the gas, and then you mine 100 gas. You get the factory, and then you take 3 workers off the gas. Then you make your command center, and then you put the SCVs back into the gas. That's absolutely mandatory. You need to know that. Everybody, even if you just started playing StarCraft, you need to learn this like first beginning that I'm currently doing here. Barracks, gas, gas. Make SCVs always. I mine until 100 gas, we make factory.
Insufficient Vespine
Now we
gas.
take 3 workers off the gas, and we chill.
Big job.
We're gonna go for a reactor at Reaper aggression, maybe? No, we're gonna go for no reactor, no reactor.
Vespine gas.
Now we just make SCVs and Reaper and Hellion, nothing else. The next thing that you just have to like follow is we make the command center. And when we make this command center, that's the timing.
Rear with the gear.
Not
So we
enough
make it now.
minerals.
That is exactly the timing when we, and that make it really as basic as possible, when we put workers back into the gas. So now
Not
I'm
enough
back to
minerals.
mining gas fully saturated.
Not
And now the
enough
only thing that we
minerals.
do is we make Reaper, Hellion, some supply depots obviously, and then the starport eventually, a 1-1-1 setup, because we're playing a
Not enough
TVT.
minerals.
But this is all the basic build. This is at least what you have to learn to play in a TVT matchup every single time. Even if you're Gold League, a bronze player, like everybody has to play like this, even if you're GM.
Additional supply
If you're
depots
GM, I
required.
guess you can have some more variants. Oh, look at that, he's coming. And then really the only thing that we pay attention to, so really the only thing we pay attention to now is that we get the basic build going. So we're going up to 4 Reapers and 3 Hellions. Maybe I should have gone the reactor route because it's like a little bit more efficient. This is a little bit of an inefficient build. But essentially, and one specialty in TVT, you take a 3rd gas. That's one specialty about TVT. And now, we just get Tech Lab, Reactor,
Not enough
Tech Lab, Reactor. And now, we go for the aggression. So now what we do is we just focus on the aggression and we just make SCVs in the background. I'll not do anything else. I'll just focus on that. Was my triple stack here.
Command center upgrade.
Before the aggression, you can start a tank and a Raven maybe. But now we just make SCVs and we are aggressive. Make SCVs and be aggressive. Just go for it. Dive in. Drop some grenades. And make SCVs in the background. Nothing else. We're just making SCVs and we're putting on the aggression. Make SCVs. We're still putting on the aggression. I should put the rally point. Yeah. We're just aggressive until our units die. Or until it's like not able to do any more damage. And we make SCVs. Micro. You can macro afterwards. Just micro. Run some circles. Micro. Okay, now I think the aggression is soon over, right? We still just make SCVs. He's chasing us all the way. Okay, now the aggression is over. Now macro. Tank, Raven upgrade, Marine. Drop mules. And now we just follow the basic techniques that you always do. So the setup that I explained yesterday. You go up to a 3rd command center. You take the gas in the natural. And now we just
Not
macro.
Additional supply depots required.
Until the next aggression, basically.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Rally a tank into the main, 1 tank in the natural. To keep you safe against like cyclone aggression that he might do, because he has a medevac and can drop. We're gonna go up to like triple Raven. And then we just follow the basic steps, basically. Just follow the basic steps. So what are the basic steps? Well, we go up to like a good Raven count. That's one basic step. The next basic step is you go up to 5 barracks. So let's do that, 5 barracks.
Research.
The next basic step is to be going up into double eBay. We obviously want to get stim pack, and TVT is very specific. In TVT you open up Raven, that's why we took the 3rd gas. And then we're gonna make like Vikings. Like we switch add-ons and we start making Vikings. That's like how TVT works. You go for like a Viking tank Raven opening,
Additional supply
and then you
depots
slowly
required.
transition into like mass barracks. So like we create a little bit of a setup. Now why do you do this?
Are under attack.
A simple explanation. So why do I do this like this? Because Marines without stim are useless. But as soon as you get the upgrades, Marines are the most powerful unit in the game.
Not enough.
That's how it works.
Not enough.
So before we
minerals.
produce Marines, we get all this setup. We get the extra barracks, we get the stim, we get the double engineering bay,
Vessel.
and we defend with Vikings and tanks, basically.
Not enough. Minerals.
So we just defend Viking, tank, Raven in the early game. Then we get all these barracks.
Not enough.
We go up to a good Viking count. Now, what is a good Viking count? Like 6 is always a good count. Then we expand. And yeah, we just follow the basic steps. We always make SCVs. We go up to 5 barracks. What do we do after going up to 5 barracks? Well, we obviously always fix our economy. We make Vikings and tanks. Always make Vikings and tanks. Never stop.
Add on.
Always make Viking tanks. Don't get supply blocked. Drop the mules. And get a sensor tower at the 3rd.
Not enough.
Get a sensor tower at the 3rd. Here in this case he's attacking. If he is attacking, send forward the Ravens and just Matrix. Boop, boop, boop. Free win. Just like that. Get out. This is why you open up Raven. This is why we built the Raven. This is why we built the Raven.
Not enough.
And we just always make SCVs at the same time. Always make SCVs. And now, like, the macro is free. As you can see, I have, like, more than enough production facilities. I just... the only thing I really always make sure is I follow, like, the setup. And then, like, I have a, like, SCV count, like, magic numbers. Like, I have 69 now. Which is like, okay, let's stop making SCVs. Because 69 is enough on 3 bays. Even a few too many. Then we get a 4th. So now, like, for example, now... I don't even have to worry about SCVs because I know I have the perfect economy. As soon as this base is done, I'm gonna get some more economy. But for now, I'm perfectly saturated. I can just focus on getting more defense, more units. Like this, for example, out. Just make 5 turrets in the main. It's fine. StarCraft is a game where the goal is to go on 3 base as fast and as greedy as possible, basically.
Not enough.
If you can get on 3 base
Our SCVs
really fast,
are under
you're in a good
attack.
position. Oh, there's some Viking harassment. Luckily, I have some units here in my rally point, because that's another thing that I always explain. How do you set your rally points? These are all things that I explain. Just pull the workers away and make new SCVs. Always make new SCVs. And here also, boop boop, Matrix. And these units are gone. Just Matrix and Medivacs, they can't escape. He killed a single EVA, we can just replace that. And as you can see, I'm even like walking with F2 here. Like I'm not even, I'm not really like hotkeying anything, I'm just using F2. Like these units are gonna clear everything. I'm just making sure, like hotkeys don't matter, what matters is that the economy is running. As long as the economy is running, everything is fine. And of course, if he gets like a huge doom drop, it can get scary. But that's why we have like mass turrets in the main. That's why we have a sensor tower at the 3rd. So we can get one here. We're on 4 base, so we go up to like 75 SCVs. And we just focus on getting the setup. It's not so much about the micro anymore. I don't really know what I can explain to you in terms of micro in the late game. Because StarCraft 2 is just not a very micro heavy game, you know, like there isn't like very like much micro you can do in the late game, because macro is just that much more important. So what is the micro that you want to focus on in TVT? It's the Raven micro. So the way that I do the Raven micro, I'll explain to you in this game how I do it. So the way that I manage my Ravens is you can have like one big control group. By the way, I forgot my bunker here at the 3rd. I leave 1 tank behind. 1 tank behind, a bunker behind. And the way I do this, I just have everything on 1 hotkey. And then the Ravens on the other hotkey. And now you can see I have like the Ravens on a separate hotkey. And I can manage them like much better. I'm maxed out. That's usually when we just add random command centers like this. And we use scans ahead to see what he is. So here I have 1 big clump. But the Ravens on a separate hotkey. There's a random medevac here that we see. He's really fancy, like going through all that. And now we just select the Ravens and Matrix and siege our own tanks. Now he is sieging up, so I should probably go back. I wasn't able to get the Matrixes off. So I'm not running into this tank line. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna run into this tank line like that. So I'm just gonna go around. And I'm gonna go here, and I'm just macroing at the same time. So the way that I macro is I have these air units in one control group, and then the rest on the other control group, basically. That's how we manage it. And now we have this position that is like unbreakable for him. So yeah, I can just F2 over here, stop these units so they don't run in. And now we're just AFKing over here. Like, this is it's gonna be really hard for him to deal with. These tanks are not in range. I'm just double checking they are not. And we just micromanage this army while we get upgrades, while we get additional bases, just more of the orbitals. And just wait and see what happens here. Like, I have more than enough units at home to deal with a counter attack. Like, I have many options. Like, let me show you one option, for example, that we have. Oh, he's doing something similar. You can just select the medevac and micro on top of the tanks. Microing or like dropping on top of tanks is a very good technique in TVT. As you can see, I just took out a lot of tanks. Very nice. Now I'm just gonna quickly focus on this. But this is the nice thing about tanks. You don't really need to like babysit them. If you have like air control like this, we are just chilling. I can even get closer with one more tank. We are just chilling until we get cleared. Maybe now we get cleared. We just use like a anti-armor missile. I'm gonna F2 here because this is his entire army. So I need my entire army to deal with his entire army. So I'm just gonna use F2 now, and I'm gonna reinforce, hold down the marine button. And we can even go up to like more barracks here. Like I said, 11 barracks is fine. This is what we learned in the macro lesson yesterday. Just expand like a madman, get sensor towers in each base. And now we just do the next attack. Let's see if he can stop that. Let's see if he can stop this attack or not. We're just gonna scan ahead. We don't want to run into tank lines, but if there's no tanks here, we can even just run into a planetary and it's not an issue. If he doesn't have any tanks in position. Another micro trick that you can utilize is just doom drop. Just doom drop. That's another micro drop you can, or micro move you can do. Or you can click on the tanks to see how far they go. And then we're just gonna dive in here. Oh, there's kind of a bad fight though. Terrible fight. But I mean, whatever. We're still kind of winning here. There's no more marines, so I'm even gonna land the Vikings on top of tanks. Kind of a similar technique to what you just saw. Yeah. I have too many medevacs, of course, so I'm not gonna make more. I'm just holding down the marine button here. Just holding down the marine and tank button.
Not enough energy.
I'm gonna unsiege and pick up those tanks and leave. Look at this. Sick micro, isn't it? The way that I did this is I unsiege and then I just press the hotkey for me C, which is to load in units. So like if I have like a tank, I select the medevacs and tell the medevacs load. And then shift click and they will pick up. Small little micro trick. And yeah, we're just diving in once more. Or we can just utilize like the doom drop technique, like anything. You can always use scans ahead to see where they're at. And then you just go for it. Like here I just drop a couple tanks like this. And then the rest just goes into the main. And now this is going to be a nasty technique because he's going to have to go through a choke point. And then at the same time, we'll just hold down the marine button. GG. You didn't even have 3-3 at the end. Or we didn't have 3-3 quite yet either. Just level 3 attack. And because we have like infinite production, like 11 barracks is like so much. Like remaxing is like so easy. Remaxing is like so simple. And you just always keep the medevacs alive so you don't even need like multiple starports. One starport is enough. Because, like, you can't lose your medevacs. You just boost them away. That's the theory. Like, of course, if you lose them, it's really bad. But that's another thing that you really want to pay attention to. In case you want to know where the magic numbers come from. So, the magic numbers come from how economy works. So in every base you have 16 guys on the minerals and 6 on each, like on the gas, right? But with this style, like that I'm teaching, we're not playing late game, by the way. We're only focusing on like the micro and the early game, and then we just spam units. We're not focusing on the late game, so we're not doing like any late game stuff, like getting ghosts in TVZ or getting like liberators out of air control or ravens in TVT or whatever. We're just focusing on the basics at the moment. So today is like more micro, early game aggression, that sort of thing. But basically, because of that, we stay on Marine tank in TVT forever, and we don't take the gas at the 4th. So now do the math. So we have 16 workers on 4 bases. 4 bases is the maximum amount of bases that you really need. You don't go past 4 bases, because the math just doesn't check out, you know? The math, in order to get like to a 200 supply army, works the best if you have a 4 base setup. And the way that expanding works in StarCraft, there's a certain limit to how many SCVs you have, because you have a supply limit. 200 supply is the supply limit, so obviously there's going to be something like the perfect SCV count. So what is the perfect SCV count? The perfect worker count, it depends on how fast you are expanding. So as a Terran player that is not going for late game, you don't ever go to 80 SCVs. And the reason is the math behind it. The reason is just the simple math behind it. It's actually very simple how it works, like how you calculate like your worker count. But like you don't even have to be like super precise. Like being precise is nice. So I will tell you now the magic number. That is like if you're like being 100% precise, you know. So if you're being 100% precise, this is the perfect magic number. So we have a main base. I'm gonna type it here in chat. So this base, so main base, we have 16, or main base, 16 workers. So SCV count, 16, plus another 16 here, plus another 16 over here, plus another, you take all the gases, so another 6 on each base. And you come out at a nice worker count of 66. So this is the SCV count on 3 ways, the magic number. I add 1 SCV though, because 1 SCV has to make the command center. And usually you can add a few more, because there's always an SCV like making a supply depot, making barracks. So ideally, it can be a little bit higher. So this is the minimum workers required on 3 ways. Minimum workers required. And now here's the interesting part. So if I have a 4th base, isn't this like 66 plus another 16, because it's like another 16 on the minerals? As I've said, we don't take the gas. Isn't that another 16? No. Terran is the slowest in expanding, and usually, unless you play like the most greedy build, before you're able to get like this base, you're running out of minerals in the main base. And there's always 4 minerals that run out faster than the other minerals. So what does it mean? 8 SVs are gonna be enough in the main, because you run out of minerals on these patches here. Let me put the workers away that are not mining from these. So these patches are running out of money. Here, these minerals. First. So these run out. So then it's 66 plus 16 minus 8, because you take 8 from the main and you don't make like 16 additional ones. So then the ideal number is 66 plus 8, which equals 74. And now, like I said, you add 1 SCV, because 1 SCV makes like the 4th command center and is always busy. So usually I go to 67, and that's where we get the magic number 75. That's where we go for the magic number. That's why I always say 75. With this playstyle where you don't take the gas and over here. If you take the gas, it's 81 is the perfect count then. If you take the gas, you add another 6 here, and then the perfect SCV count is 81. But you'd only take the gas if we're playing late game. We're not playing late game. So this is the magic number. This is your maximum SCV count. If you're going for the, or the minimum SCV count. If you're going for the standard, like 4 base, quick 4 base, macro, like mass marine tank style or whatever you're playing against. Yeah. And 75 is only the minimum requirement. If you have like 78 or whatever, like there's always SCVs making stuff like supply depots, more command center. You can be a little bit over that number as a Terran. You don't have to be 100% precise. But like just as a guideline. This is the minimum SCV count required if you are playing a normal game. So what is a normal game? You take the third base, like you build it, you start building it at around 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. And you build the fourth base like at 8 minutes or so. That's a normal game of StarCraft. Obviously, sometimes you're stuck on 2 base for longer. And then, like, depending on how fast you mine out, there's even times where you make less than 75 SCVs. But I'm just talking about the regular game. 75 is always a good number to aim for. And then obviously also put the SCVs in the correct spot. And don't take the gas at the fourth if you're not playing the late game. Like, we're not playing late game, so we don't take it. Like, not taking the gas is critical. Because having, like, 6 more SCVs that mine gas that you don't even need. Like, you don't even need the gas if you don't play late game. If you just spam tank marine. Don't even need that gas, so. I can already tell, like, if I tell this to, like, some people that are diamond, they're gonna go and build gas at the fourth, like. Pay attention to what I say and to every detail, basically. That's why I do these detailed explanations. Should you rebuild ravens if you lose them? No, with this style you don't rebuild ravens. We don't ever go for late game. We just build the ravens early on because of how good they are. The ravens are just MVPs in the early game of TVT, Raven Viking tank opening. So we always build them. They're just too good to not make them. You have to learn how to use the early ravens. Afterwards, you can like stop making them at some point, but in the early game in TVT, you're just playing at the disadvantage if you're not getting them. By the time you hit your 3rd CC though, wouldn't there be less mineral patches at the main? No, not when you take the 3rd, no. When you take the 3rd, you should still have the main, well saturated. It's when you take the 4th, like, you can even write, like, you can be like that. You can write this stuff down. I don't do it because I just remember it this way. If I'm expanding normally, or I just check my main, like, to see, okay, how many minerals do I have left in my main? But, like, if you want to have a number, like, if you take your 4th base before 10 minutes, then you're definitely running out. Like, you're running out of minerals in the main at, like, 10 minutes or so. 10, 9 minutes, something like that. Like, you can just remember that number if you want to. 4 mineral patches will disappear at that number, basically. When you take the 3rd in TVT, I don't remember. What? When I take. I build it between 5 to 6 minutes. I've said it many times during my games as well. That's what I mean. Like, pay attention to every detail that I say. If you want to actually get better, pay attention to... Like, I'm trying to do, like, the most detailed explanation here. And, like, that kind of stuff, like, just write it down if you don't remember, like, these are like general rules that like always work. That's why I'm telling you. Same with the work account. Like the 75 work account, it just always works. It always works. There's like no exception to that rule. If the game is like normal, there's no exception. There's also no exception to the rule in like TVT or like in general to always make your 3rd, well in TVT especially, between like 5 to 6 minutes or so. Yeah. Okay, I need to run ads quickly. Let's do that. In TVZ or whatever, of course, you build the third much earlier because you open up one gas. It's like a very different build. So you have to like treat each matchup like separately. So like the SCV count thing is like true for all matchups, for example, but obviously in TVZ you expand much faster at the third, or you build your third command center much faster. Obviously, StarCraft is a very matchup dependent game. It really depends on like what matchup you play, what kind of build you go for, you know. Thanks for the educational stream. Thanks for watching. We're just gonna wait a minute right now because some people have ads. Yeah. And then we're gonna continue playing. I'm drinking cold coffee. I forgot to take the milk out of the fridge. I usually do that to like cool it, or not cool it, so that it gets to room temperature. Because I'm making like my manual cappuccino, and the manual cappuccino is that I foam and heat up my own milk and then just put the coffee on it. But if the milk is cold, you can't just do it with the steamer. Yeah, and then usually I end up drinking colder coffee. Today is one of these days where I forgot that process. So we're drinking, unfortunately, the cold milk in the coffee. Yeah, I only have Generation 1 Pokemons. I just bought the prettiest, and I mean, they are very kind of old. I have one more, but there's no place for him. We obviously have Pichu as well. I tried putting him on here, but... Oh! It kind of works? No. Doesn't work. I'm gonna make this streaming setup a little bit nicer in the future. Because I feel like some decoration is always nice. And the colors... the colors work out. I can't believe there's no space for Pichu. Why is there no space for Pichu? I'm gonna try my best, but he's gonna fall over. Now you can't see Charmander. Nah, this is not good. No. Okay. You always wonder what ads you're talking. Yeah, I mean, if you have ad block, or depending on what region you come from, you don't get ads, but some people do. It's a little bit annoying because Twitch ads are not even like they're not even paying very well. I should make like more surveys and like ask the people, yeah, to rewatching scouts. I'll read that chat message when I'm like in after the game. I'm already in game. Protoss, right? Yeah, Protoss. Okay. Okay, micro lesson today. Micro and early game aggression. So what does it mean? We build Reapers and Hellions. That's what it means. So we just do Reaper Hellion aggression. And then we just don't macro at all. And we just focus on the aggression. And we don't even follow like a build order. We're following the basic build, which is, like I said, mandatory for everybody. Even if you just started playing StarCraft, this build you just have to learn. Like, you have to learn how to play like the first couple minutes of a real game of StarCraft. You just have to learn that. So this is like true for everybody. There's no difference whether you're bronze or like grandmaster. Like I never understand. There's no such thing as like a build that is like better in like lower leagues, you know. There's no such thing. Of course, I would recommend a safe build. Like that is better in lower leagues, like a safer build. But there's also safer builds like the double gas here that work at the higher leagues, you know. So that's not something to ever worry about. I'm even gonna scout here. I'm gonna implement a scout to make it as basic as possible. So I'm playing double gas and I'm scouting even to see if it's one base. If it's one base, or you can just send the Reaper across. Let's just send the Reaper across. The Reaper, the first Reaper just checks if there's an Nexus or not. And once again, double gas is mined to 100 gas. And then we make the factory, just like that. We take 3 workers off the gas. Then we build our command center. And then after we build the command center, what do we do? That's going to be a question in the upcoming HeroMarine exam. We obviously put the workers back into the gas. Just an easy way to follow. You can do it more optimized, but like this is just such an easy rule to follow. And just do it because it doesn't come down to like these details that you are not like making progress. So yeah, we just put down the CC, we scout the Nexus. Oh no, no Nexus. No Nexus means we have to play defensive. Okay, this is about scouting now. This is not a micro lesson anymore. Put workers back in gas. We need to make a reactor and a bunker. And we need to just cancel this. Like, just cancel and defend the high ground. Yeah, we need to go one base, marine, and tank. Pull the SCVs. Oh, what the fuck does that glitch by? Pull a lot of SCVs, because he is all-inning you. And repair the supply depot. And lock on to the Stalkers. Very important as well. Just lock on to the Stalker. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you lock onto. Okay. And we just make Marines and tank one base. This is a one base defense. Use the wall to your advantage, like the Cyclone, micro the Cyclone. It's very handy. Just lock on to like each Stalker. Like just use the wall, make sure that it doesn't immediately die. And then eventually get a tank out. We should probably build a bunker, I would assume. And just make SCVs always. Always make SCVs, put them on the minerals. Should have made a bunker a long time ago. I'm supply blocked now, so that was more panic than anything else. And just pull enough SCVs. Like here, you see he's in my base. I'm just pulling like so many SCVs. And the SCVs, they just soak up all the damage. And we even can go like for a surround here, as you can see. Like the SCVs are just gonna soak up the damage. We can push all the way down, but obviously we don't want to go too fast. As long as you're still making SCVs in the background, you're fine, you know. Just make SCVs in the background. Always make SCVs. Put them on the minerals. We have a tank now as well. There's obviously more than enough. The tank is just gonna win us the game. Like he's one base. As long as you're making SCVs, you don't need to follow a build. I'm just getting a 1-1-1 setup because I want to get a Raven against DTs. That's another like rule that I have against one base stuff. It's like DTs are probably, if they make Stalkers or if they're going for this sort of thing, just get a Raven. But basically what we do is similar to TVT. We just make SCVs and then we just we make SCVs. And we just go for 1-1-1 marine tank production. Nothing else. This is like what we do. We just build tank marines. 1-1-1. One safety raven. And we just first get enough SCVs to saturate the 2 bases. And we are chilling. Make SCVs. Make SCVs. Until you're like well saturated basically. So we make SCVs. We make SCVs. We make tanks. We make marines. We make supply depots. Really basic macro here. We sent the Reaper across for scouting. And the Raven is enough. We don't need more. 1 Raven is enough. The starport can now like do whatever you want. Like do whatever you want with it. Make a reactor. I don't know. Like 1 Raven is enough. You don't need more than this. That's the point I'm trying to make. Then we make a 3rd. You know, we're making SCVs and a 3rd. And we're making marines and tanks. Nothing else. Still. This is a TVP, so this matchup works a little bit differently. We don't want to go for too many tanks. So at some point, after you make the 3rd, You do the same as always. And what do we always do? We have 1 barracks. Let's go up into 5 barracks. And conveniently, we have a reactor here from the starport. We can use that. And yeah, we just get our setup. We get reactors. The factory in TVP is useless. You don't need it. You can make widow mines if you want to, but it's not necessary. What we do now is just a simple macro. 5 barracks, double eBay, 3rd command center. And we just make sure that we are saturating the bases like we're currently doing. And look at that, 15 workers, we're fully saturated, let's take the gas. We're fully saturated on the expansion, we take the gas. But pay attention to my words and don't twist them. We only do that up to 3 base because with this style we don't take gas at the 4th base. So only on the 2nd base and the 3rd base we have that rule where we take the gas as soon as it's like fully saturated. I made an additional reactor here on the factory. That is useless. Against Protoss we just built Marine and Marauder and Medevacs. Yeah, and get some SCVs to build supplies, as well as like some safety turrets in case there's a warp prism flying in. And one thing that we always do is make SCVs. We're still making SCVs. I'm gonna leave like 1 tank in the back. Oops. I'm gonna leave like 1 tank in the back here. In case he wants to jump into my main, I at least have 1 tank that keeps us safe. And then we just take the expansion and we put like tanks, zoning tools here to make sure that he can't like poke with like stalkers or whatever. And always make sure to make supplies. And just build bio now. Just build bio. Tanks in the defensive spot, build bio. And build the same setup like we always do in every single matchup. We do the same in this matchup. And that is the setup to go for sensor tower, turret, bunker. Just get it. And even make like some supply depots here next to it. And then we make SCVs. And we hit the first magic number very soon. He proxied us. We can of course take out that thing over here quickly. I know that I'm ahead, so this is sometimes dangerous to do something like this, especially before the sensor tower is up. But yeah, now we take the gas, we're fully saturated here, we go for more upgrades. And we just build bio. We just build bio. Same setup, bunker here, turret in the main. Let's even make more turrets. As long as we're making SCVs, we're in a good position. And we need more medevacs. We just make Marine Marauder medevacs. Spend your gas, very important resource to be spending. I always pay attention in my macro that I spend my gas primarily. I spent my gas. I want to have a Ghost Academy, by the way, and I want to know what he's making. Colossus, we need Vikings. Against Colossus, you need Vikings. Against Protoss, you can even think about like getting a 2nd bunker so you don't die to like storm pushes or something like that. And this tank can also help us defend our positions.
Not enough minerals.
He has a lot of like Colossus, so we should maybe consider taking a fight before he has too much underneath. So I'm setting up a concave and then we're just dropping some auto turrets and we're diving in. Anti-armor missile, in my opinion, kind of a useless ability. I usually don't use it, and now we just crush the army. And he was even on 2 base, all-inning us. Like, look at the economy. He was on 2 base. We're sitting here on like 70 SCVs already. He was just spamming Colossus without even any upgrades. Not even Blink. That's how he got so many. But yeah, we just had enough bio to be able to deal with that. Dirty Cheeser. Didn't get us this time. You want to reinstall and try this tutorial? Yeah, there's going to be more content like this in the future. I just enjoy doing it as well. You know, actually, we even have a loss earlier today. I lost against this Protoss. So I'm even trying to like be more like not a smurf, you know. I actually want to stay at like route, like let's say 5k or more. I actually want to lose games. Like let me show you this game quickly. Like here I lost the game. But I even want to stay at this MMR because I can explain things like much easier at lower MMR, and it doesn't even matter when I lose because I know why I lost this game. Like for example, this game I lost. I also made a build order mistake, I think. Like, we went for too much Reaper Hellion. So this game, I did the Reaper Hellion aggression as well. My opponent just expanded. So I did the same steps. I just went for the 1-1. This was the first game of the stream. We went for like scouting, okay, Nexus. Then we make Reaper Hellion. 2 Reapers, 1 Hellion. Let's go. And look at the resources lost tab. We kill a Stalker. Lose only Hellion. Here we kill another 2 Stalkers. Look at the resources lost after all this aggression. So we kill... After all this aggression, we killed 15 units, like 3 Stalkers. We killed 10 probes. Actually, we killed even more. We killed 5 Stalkers or something. We lost like a couple Hellions, couple Reapers. But obviously what I was doing here in this game, this is a micro lesson. So the only macro that I did is make SCVs. I didn't even set a rally point. The only macro I did in the background was just making SCVs. Not even setting the rally point, not even dropping mules. I was just making SCVs. And in this game, he was going for 5-gate blink cheese. So even though if you look at the work account, I'm way ahead in SCVs. Like if you look at my position, we're winning this game super hard. The early aggression worked out. But we still ended up losing it because obviously in this case, I then did the steps. 5 barracks, double eBay, tank production to be safe against Protoss. It wasn't enough because obviously I kind of overdid myself, you know, in this game. I kind of overdid myself. My opponent went for an all-in, which was pretty lucky for him that he did this sort of all-in. I was really greedy making all these add-ons. I could have just produced Marines out of them and could have probably held on. I was way ahead, you know, I had more SCVs, I had all these upgrades on the way, like look at the production tab. But yeah, we actually ended up losing this game because I just did macro on purpose. But at least in this game, even though we lost it, you could still, like, I could still teach something, ideally. I'm too good at? No, I'm saying that if I play against someone like Clem, there's no way I can ever explain things in detail. When I'm playing against Clem, I need to, like, play very fast and everything needs to be perfect. I don't even have the time to, like, stare at a certain thing for a couple moments and, like, explain it in detail while neglecting other stuff. Like, it's just nice sometimes to just focus on one thing and ignore everything else, you know? And that's exactly what we did there. We just focused on the micro. We killed 10 probes, 5 stalkers, did massive damage. And of course the macro was like Silver League, so I did that on purpose. And that was the only reason we lost. But like the lesson about like the early game aggression, it's still valid. We dealt a lot of damage and got into a very good position just because of making some Reapers and being aggressive. Yeah. How would you prevent this type of rush if you're ready to add production? Well, in this case, I just macroed like Silver League. Like, you just have to be a little bit better with the macro. And then it's like perfectly fine. But I also, I choose the wrong build. Like the first game today, my build order was not optimized. Now my build order is already a little bit more optimized. If I get another Protoss that doesn't cheese me, I can show you my more optimized version of the basic build. Like the plan is to not follow a build order. Today we don't want to follow a build order. We can even go like deeper than this. We can create like a little notepad. Let's create a little notepad. A little checklist, you know. I could even put it like on the screen, but we're just gonna quickly do it like this. So this is the checklist for today. Check. Oh, you can barely see it. Checklist. So this is the plan for today. Reaper plus Hellion early aggression. That's the first thing we do. Constant, this is mandatory, constant SCV production. That's the other thing that we're doing today. And basic double gas build. It's another thing that's mandatory. And the 1-1-1 setup into 5-1-1, I guess. Plus 2 eBay. This is what we focus on today, basically. This is what we look at today. Repair Hellion aggression, constant SCV production. The basic double gas build today is mandatory. And the 1-1-1 setup into double eBay and hitting the magic numbers. Hitting the SCV magic numbers. Put this underneath. So yeah, there you go. This is our little checklist for today. That's what we're doing. Can I even put this like in the overlay like this? It looks kind of ugly. We're not putting it in, but I'll put it here for reference, and I can use it whenever I want to refer to it. Oh no, that was the Beyond picture from another stream. Where is it? Here. Yeah. For reference, we can put this in. So this is what we're focusing on today. The setup from yesterday is important. Hitting the magic numbers. The 1-1-1 setup into 5 barracks plus 2 eBay. Into 3 base. 3 CC. 5-1-1 eBay setup. This is more precise. Yeah, this is more precise. Yeah. It looks very mathematical when you have like 1-1-1 setup into 3 CC, 5 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. 2 eBays should be simple. 1-1-1, 1 barracks, 1 factory. You know what we're doing here. Okay, let me see in the chat quickly if I missed anything. Randy, thank you very much for the sub. I'm glad you enjoy it. No, first you make the third command center, 1-1-1 3 CC. I guess we can call it 1-1-1 3 CC setup into 5-1-1-2 eBay. I don't know which one. No, actually the other way it sounds more correct. So 1-1-1 setup into 3. No, this sounds way better. Maybe another plus here. Yeah, the plus can go on. Same in every matchup. We do the same in every matchup. Okay, this is the checklist. We're gonna try to fulfill it next game. Two days checklist. Ha. Nice. Okay, we found a game. I'm gonna put the checklist away. And then we'll see if we manage it. TVZ. So obviously in TVZ, the basics of a double gas build is like not what we do. It's stupid to play double gas in TVZ.
Not enough.
In every matchup, you have to treat it differently. Conveniently, double gas is a really good option in both TVT and
Not
TVP.
enough minerals.
It's not in this matchup. In this matchup, going double gas is just simply wrong. Don't do that.
Go ahead.
Not enough
So I have to
minerals.
apply a slightly like different build in this game.
enough
Slight variation
Not
of
enough
that build.
minerals.
SCV ready.
And we also don't go for a 1-1-1 setup. Because I think it's easier to not go for the 1-1-1 setup in a TVZ.
Additional
So today's
supply
aggression,
required.
like I said, we're playing without a build order. We're just playing with the basic build. So what is the basic build in
Not
TVZ?
enough minerals.
Barracks, gas,
enough
Reaper
minerals.
expand into factory with a marine. So let me go through, and triple CC. We're going triple CC in TVZ. So let me talk you through. So we make the barracks. We make one gas, not double gas. And we do the same like yesterday. This is mandatory. There's no way around this. This is the first thing you need to learn in SC2 once again. Absolute like mandatory knowledge. Play one gas, Reaper fast expand. Send the SCV across the map and scout. This is basic knowledge. Like, if you don't know what you're doing in this case, like send the SCV after the barracks. And like, listen to what I say. Send the SCV after the barracks. Not at like 17 supply or something stupid like that.
Not enough
Listen to
minerals.
exactly what I say. Put down the CC as soon as you have 400 minerals. And then the guy that made the barracks, just you send him across. You make a depot here. This guy is gonna make a factory.
Command center upgrade.
Always make SCVs and drop mules. And now after the Reaper, we make a marine. We see hatch first. And this guy makes the third command center. So I sent him here, back home. He's also gonna make the third. And now the Reaper goes across. This guy makes the factory. And we just stay on one gas, one marine. Then we go into the reactor. Then we go into the third. And that is the basic build. Nothing more than that.
Insufficient
And then add-on
SP
switch,
gas.
maybe. We try and get a Zergling or a drone with this Reaper. Can we get a Zergling? Yes, but we lose the Reaper, my bad. Stupid. Because the next step would be to see if he has a third. We're just gonna pretend like we know he has a third. He has a third anyways. Let's just pretend.
Not enough.
And then we make our own third. And we don't take the gas. This is the basic build. 3cc, reactored, factory of 1 gas, TVZ. That is the basic build. From now on, you don't need to follow a build anymore. From now on,
CVs are under attack.
we're just making an add-on swap. This is what happens when you lose the Reaper. It's a little bit annoying. We make an add-on swap. And we just get attack lab on the barracks. And now the build is over. If you want to, you can make a bunker. We don't know if he has a third, so
Upgrade
I'm
complete.
just gonna get a safety bunker, but that's just optional. Better having it than not having it, I guess. If you have the money, might as well. And now what we're doing is we just make Hellions and
Not
SCVs.
enough minerals.
We go up to like 6 Hellions or 8.
Add-on complete.
Maybe get a Marauder, because I'm afraid of like roaches, a safety Marauder, and Stim.
Not enough minerals.
One safety Marauder and Stim and a bunker is not bad. But yeah, now it's all freestyle. It's not a build. We just build Hellions, SCVs, and that's it for now. Hellions, SCV production. Oh, look at that. It's mass roaches. This is why we built the Marauder. Smart, right?
Not enough.
SCVs, Hellions,
Not enough
Orbital, of course, as well, and dropping mules.
Not enough.
SCVs, Hellions, Orbital,
Not enough
dropping mules.
minerals.
Now, mandatory rule. 16 out of 16, 17 out of 16. We take gas, we take gas. Mandatory. Basic knowledge. This is something you have to just know 100%. We went up to 8 Hellions. And now we just sent them in.
Upgrade complete.
And we just make like a reactor with the factory. Oh, a tech lab. It doesn't matter what you make. Make a tech lab, make tanks. And double eBay. But like, first we focus on the aggression. So we just make SCVs and supplies, and we focus on the aggression. And the aggression is gonna be a Hellion run by. Make SCVs, run by the Hellions. This is our aggression. Just run by the Hellions. I'm even dropping mules. Did 0 damage. Perfect.
Add-on complete.
Now we do the setup. Remember the checklist.
Complete.
1-1-1. 5 barracks setup. We're getting 5 barracks. We're doing perfect saturation. 16 out of 16. 3 out of 3. 16 out of 16. 3 out of 3. And then we take the third, roughly at like 50 SCVs in this case. And then we fully saturate the third, as you can see. I'm still have the bunker here, why not? And I'm making some tanks. I forgot the starboard, don't forget the starboard. It's 1-1-1, 5-1-1 with the starboard, get the upgrades. And just make sure that the barracks are running slowly, you know? Slowly, you want to make sure the barracks are running. We just get reactors on them. Oh shit! Okay, mayday. We're gonna try and defend this now by having tanks really defensive.
Not enough minerals.
We're still just making SCVs, but we obviously have to give up that third. That third is never gonna go up. So I'm just gonna send away the SCVs and I'm just gonna put my orbital back into the main. I put the tank really far in the back so that corrosive fire can't just take it out.
Base.
But I'm just following still the steps here. I'm getting my marine production started. I'm still making SCVs. Everything is normal. I'm just making too many SCVs on 2 base, but I mean we have now on 2 base 65 SCVs. I think you don't have to be a smart person to know that this is too much and we don't need to make any more SCVs. Our goal is now to make enough units to be able to expand again. If you get supply block, holding down a supply depot is always nice.
Not enough minerals.
So when is the best time to break out? When you're hitting like an upgrade window.
Not enough
So as soon as we're hitting the upgrade window, the 1-1,
Not enough
we just try and expand again.
additional supply.
Oh, the SCVs are still here as well.
Not enough minerals.
But yeah, we just make out of our production facilities our units.
Additional supply depots.
And then, oh, we're hitting 1-1. Let's just go for it.
Enough energy.
Let's wait for 1-1.
Our SCVs not enough minerals. Under attack.
Can, oh, okay, he's here. So we can already fly over, I guess. 60, the first magic number. The first magic number is, of course, 67. This is a little bit of a weird game, but we're still gonna hit the magic numbers. Because they are always okay. They're always valid.
Additional supply
Even though I'm expanding really late, I'm still just gonna pay attention to the magic numbers. 67 on the SCVs on 3 base. We take the gas after it's fully saturated. We just take the gas. We make a sensor tower. We make a bunker. Maybe we should spread the tanks more because otherwise one corrosive bile is gonna take out every tank.
additional supply depots.
And we just have constant tank production, constant marine production until we have enough money for the next step. A factory. We have the 67 SCVs, so now we can stop making SCVs. And we can get like another command center.
Depleted. Mineral field.
Always make supplies. I'm just gonna overproduce some because why not?
Not enough.
And we have the sensor tower. We have the turret. We don't really need safety turrets, I think, but I'm still gonna get them. And I'm even gonna fix like my economy because in some minerals here there's like 3 workers mining.
Mineral field.
You obviously want to have like 2 workers in each mineral. And yeah, we're just macroing up here. We are making the 4th, so we can go up to an even higher SCV count. 75, like I said, is always good. Even if we take this late, we go up to how many barracks? 8. We go up to 8 barracks. That's the last step of the setup. And then we are just chilling. We make marines, we make medevacs, we make tanks, we make upgrades.
Not enough
Don't make too many
minerals.
medevacs. I currently have 6. I'm making 2 more.
Add-on
That's perfect.
complete. Not enough energy.
Yeah, 1 more supply. Oh no, actually the command center is gonna finish up. We can get concussive. We can get some marauder production started now. We can get like another factory. Like you can even go for like 3 factories. I feel like that's the better for most people because their macro is like not as good. And now we just expand. Take the base. And we just expand. We make a sensor tower and a turret here, because why not? We just expand. I need 1 more SCV for this base. And we have our setup. It is complete.
Armed and ready.
We leave one tank at the third. One tank is just gonna stay here.
Add-on.
The rest is gonna unsiege. And then we just go for an attack. And in the meantime, we're just gonna make additional command centers
Add-on.
for scans later on. Okay, let's go. What do we push on this map? I think pushing through the center should be fine. Get upgrades.
Vespene gas.
Pushing through the center should be fine. Scan ahead. See that there's nothing dangerous happening. And now we're just pushing through the center. Siege up like one tank at a time. You know, like I'm just sieging up one tank at a time. I'm like stimming forward some marines here. Just doing all the micro tricks here. I'm just gonna deep dive. If I see lurkers, I run away, I guess. Oh, lurkers, we run away, I guess. Let's scan those. Against lurkers, just run away. Like, we're just running to the side here. We're just taking the fight. Oh, banelings, let's run away from the banelings. And just take the fight. I didn't even really micro. And I just make marines in the background, hold down the marine button. Take the fight. As you can see, we have more than enough medevacs. Don't make more. There's too many anyways.
Not enough.
These lurkers I can even fight, I think. Ultras. Oh, no, ultras. We need to stop making marines. We need to add marauders to our composition. Orbitals. Look at my money. 2k money soon.
Field
We're
depleted.
just gonna make 2k orbitals then.
Not enough minerals.
Okay. I guess we can expand one more time. And we're just adding the marauders now. Very important. Marauder, tank, marine production. No medevacs. We have more than enough medevacs.
Not enough.
Don't need more. Oh, there's still a tank over here. And we're just gonna chill for a moment. I'm just gonna siege up my tanks and chill for a moment.
Not enough minerals.
Take a breather. Look at the economy. This base is running out of money. So we're gonna take some SCVs from here. And just put them at the 5th base. And then even take like these SCVs, I guess. And some here, maybe. And put them there as well.
Go ahead.
We could even go for 11 barracks. Let's do it. 11 barracks is always a nice number. Your macro is definitely not gonna slip if you go for 11 barracks. Okay. We're just waiting until this base is like a planetary and we have like a turret here, I guess.
Not enough.
And another command center because I'm maxed out and I have the money. Look at my macro. We're just getting a little bit of a bank here, a little bit of a money bank right now.
Command center.
And then we're gonna unsiege everything and then we're just gonna go make orbitals as soon as they are done. There we go. And now we're gonna go. I take my gas at the 4th when I'm like fully like when my gas in the main base runs out.
Depleted.
But yeah, now I'm just gonna go for an attack. Here's a base here. I'm just gonna shift click the few units and a medevac there. And then I'm just gonna micro the rest of my army. We're gonna pre-siege some tanks here. Oh, he's completely off creep. Oh, he also has Vipers.
Command center.
And he has Parasitic Bomb. Split the medevac. It's mandatory against Parasitic Bomb. Okay, we need to be more careful. Just disengage. Just disengage. We're doing some multitasking here. We're gonna lose this. Maybe I can kill one Ultra here. Cheeky.
Mineral field.
Okay, we need to disengage. And we need to reconsider our options. There's Vipers out.
Vespene
So I
gas.
think, by the way, I'm running out of gas here, so I'm just gonna take this gas for now. If you feel like you need some gas, as you can see now, I feel like I need some gas.
Upgrade.
You can take it at some point. Like now, obviously I can take it because look at my
Mineral field.
mineral count. So what I want to get is a lot of marauders, and next time I want to split my marines more. So I'm just gonna get tons and tons of marauders, and then we're just gonna headbutt in and macro at the same time. So let's go for the headbutt. The headbutt technique is the same that I just did. I just want to split my tanks a little bit more. I'm also gonna use some scans, see where he is. And now we're just clearing creep. And we're just sieging up tanks more
Command
spread.
center upgrade.
And we're sending in more marauders. We're spreading our tanks more. And we're making sure that we know where the Vipers are. That too. Oops. I'm also making sure I attack my own units. So there are the Vipers. Let's send back the medevacs. The medevacs have to go away. The Vipers are really dangerous. If he doesn't have Parasitic Bomb, they are not. So I'm just running behind. And we're just kiting. Kiting, and reproduce. Kiting, reproduce. And in this case, I'm even winning the battle.
Research.
I can boost the Medivacs away. But I guess we're playing without Medivacs now. Yeah. I can make one more factory as well. You can also make like 2 more factories. It doesn't matter. Just make stuff, you know? Just keep your money low. And expand. Okay, we lost all the units. Hopefully we have another army soon. It's already in production. We just reproduce stuff. We drop some mules. I want to have another expansion though. I'm running kind of short on the money.
Mineral
So let's see the economy. Here we're running out. Let's take these guys. Here we have too many. And here we're running out. So that makes some SCVs that we can send towards the next base. Awesome. Let's continue. Tank Marauder production. Tank Marauder production. Sensor tower turret over here. And this is now a position that we have to defend. So I'm just gonna chill for a moment. Until we have like a planetary here. I always get tank upgrades, by the way. I already am M+3 on my tanks. And we're just gonna expand here. Expand. Take a moment, just chill. Things only get complicated when they have brute lords. Because then we have to get really spontaneous. What would I do against brute lords? What would you guys do? I personally think I would add Thors to my composition. Ideally. But either way, we're just chilling for a moment.
add on.
And then we unsiege. And now we go. We know where the army is. We know he's not doing a counter attack. We can go here.
Mineral
I'm gonna pre-siege like some tanks on the high ground. I'm gonna scan his army. Where's his army? I don't see his army. So I'm gonna run away. I don't see his army. I run away. Okay, I see his army. I go in again. Let's quickly take out the base.
upgrade complete.
Because if you don't see the army, what it means is that he might be like counter-attacking. And if he's counter-attacking, it gets really scary. I have so much money, I can make like command centers.
Is under
And this is what I mean with scary. There's lurkers in my base. Just lift. Just lift your buildings. And pick up the tanks and try to clear. I mean, it's complicated now, but yeah. This is also a high level game. But this is how I would manage it. I would fully focus on this now. Send a lot of my bio there as well. And we just drop a few tanks here, like this. He doesn't have many lurkers, so it sort of works. And we just like slowly like clear it, I guess. We make tanks in the background.
base is under attack.
Like slowly clearing it. Somewhat.
Under attack.
And then at the same time we left some units behind to deal with this.
Mineral field
Is this enough? Doesn't look like it. So we cancel this and we give it up.
field depleted.
So I'm gonna focus on clearing this first. We're gonna clear this. And then we just get the production back up.
Unacceptable. Mineral field unacceptable. Our unacceptable.
Okay.
Under attack.
This can take a while, but it's worth it.
Depleted. Vespine
Oh,
geyser
let's just go. F2 and go. We need to clear this. We can't like lose this position as well. Okay, we can
base
go ahead
is
and
under attack.
replace this.
Unacceptable.
Um,
landing zone.
Oh, there's another lurker thing on the way. Okay, it's complicated. We're just fixing stuff right now. We're gonna leave a tank now here to deal with the Nidus.
Mineral field
And we're gonna land the barracks soon enough. And now let's see what's the damage. We have 7,000 resources in the bank. That's a good thing. We need some medevacs. And we need like more tank production, I guess. But I need gas. So as you can see, I'm kind of running short on the gas. So let's take some. I feel like we have to just commit. We leave one tank behind here. And we put the rally point in the main. And, okay, he's coming in again. I'm just gonna siege my units. All the way in the back. So that he has to go all the way in. We're just playing mass siege tanks at this point. That wasn't even my plan, really. Oh, he killed my thing there. Let's try and go for the other position here. So we're gonna leave some tanks behind so we can use F2. And now we're gonna try to take the gold base, I guess. Because I don't think I can expand to the bottom side of the map. I need to go to the top side. I need to go to the bottom side. So I'm gonna clear this position. And I'm gonna siege here. And what we do is just spread the tanks out beautifully. We're just spreading them out so much that we always take an efficient fight. Just spread them. Just spread them, bro. And now we have this position. This is not our entire army, but it's like so many siege tanks that it's paying off. Let's see how far the lurker range is over here. Pretty damn far, actually. And then we're also gonna take the gold base, I guess. Whereas again here, we pressure this base, very nice. We pressure that base. And at the same time, we still have enough units at home, very nice as well. So it's working out. We have tanks everywhere. We're defending at home. We're putting on aggression over here. And he needs like brute lords against this. So maybe we should consider even like not getting maxed out. At this point he needs brute lords in order to deal with that. And I can even clear this army over here. So yeah, that looks fantastic. Does he have this base? No. As long as he doesn't have this base, I think I'm good. Because I'm contesting this base as well. I have to take it like step by step, you know. We want to clear positions now. And ideally we want to avoid the brute lords at all costs. Oh yes, Knight is in our base again. I guess we do it all over again. Lift all the buildings in the main and defend the Nidus. And then counter-attack with the rest. I have 2 army control groups. I'm already playing at the high level. Okay, this looks like we can't clear it yet. So maybe we have to like unsiege some of the tanks here. And send them back. The bio here will just go. There is some brute lords, okay. We're just gonna pick up. And shift click this somewhere. And the tanks eventually have to clear this. We're just gonna lift everything and run away from here. We're gonna give up the main base now, obviously. There's nothing I can do to stop this lurker madness. Okay, now what we're gonna do against the Nidus is we're gonna put tanks in every location so they can never reproduce the Nidus. Now I'm just gonna shift click my barracks and my factories and my starport to reproduce every single add-on here. Oh, he cleared this at the same time. I didn't even see that. Okay, we need to max out again, I guess. There's brute lords. I told you we're gonna make Thors. We're gonna make Thors, but I don't have an armory. So I guess we're gonna wait a little bit with the Thors. And we have tank siege up like everywhere here. So I guess the Nidus is not an option anymore. We can always clear it. So now we can take the rest at the front to be able to deal with his like main army. Though it might already be too late. Who knows? My goal right now is to like max out, I suppose, but it's gonna be difficult to max out. Oh, I still had those medevacs here. Yeah, I guess we have to play some merry-go-round again. We're gonna lift our things in the main. And let's see. Let's see, we're gonna make some Thors, we're gonna make some Marines. We need some Thors, ideally. We need the Thors to be able to deal with the brute lords, and we need to keep like the tanks freaking alive. Can I even do that? Can I keep the tanks alive? Let's drop some here because it's cheaper. There is some here, okay. Some brute lords are over there. So I guess we're doing a little bit of a funky base trade. We're gonna leave some tanks behind. We're gonna push with the rest. Let's see how that goes. We have some tanks in the main, keep in mind as well. So there's at least that. And we're just gonna try our best by splitting our army a little bit. And see how that goes. We have tanks here, so it's not a problem if he goes for a Nidus. We cleared this base, so he has no more mining over here. And he forgot about this one. Oh, did he actually? Oh, yes. Oh, there's a lot of ultras. Let's pick up the Thors. Do some really good micro here. We need to make some SCVs and mine again. Okay, is this our time to go for the brute lords and the lurkers? I highly doubt it. Maybe some Vikings would have been good. But we can also use medevacs and Thors, I guess. So let's do that. Okay, Vikings would have not been ideal. I don't have a scan, but I want to push in. Okay, we cleared the lurkers. The brute mods. Let's clear the lurkers. Next. Everything step by step, my friends. Oof. Clear this lurker, I guess. We don't even have money to repair anymore because we run out of gas. Awesome. And now we just make marines and tanks and we kind of just commit, see if we can make some magic happen, right?
Not enough minerals.
So he has this base? No, he doesn't have this base. So I guess we go to the other side, see if he has that one. And we defend our gold base at the same time, I guess.
Supply depots.
I need to keep some scans alive, because he
Not
might
enough
have
minerals.
lurkers, you never know. Okay, we're definitely not keeping this alive, so I'm gonna give this up.
Required.
And we're gonna focus on this location over here. I'm also gonna focus on the location down here, because that's probably what I need to be doing.
Base is
Okay,
under
that's too many
attack.
units. I think the best position now that we can get is just max out on a nice army. So he has like brute lords, like he
Additional
has some
supply depots required.
ultras. What is the best army I can get against that? I honestly I don't know. I need to repair my Thors, like some Thors against the brute. And then marauders, I guess. Some sort of like marauder composition. What do we get here? First out of the supply block. Then I guess we repair our units, because that's always worth it. Repairing. We need to split a little bit. Some Thors and marauders. Some Thors and marauders. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Under attack.
Damn it, I lost a Thor. That's really bad. And we lost like every single unit there. That's very bad as well. We're doing some fancy micro here because I really need to try hard in this game now in order to still potentially win it.
Not
But I think we have lost this game. The Niduses just dealt too much damage and we're not able to deal with them.
enough minerals. Not enough.
He doesn't have lurkers, right? So I can just drop mules, I guess.
SCVs are under
Yeah,
attack.
there's nothing I can do against these constant counter attacks anymore. And he also realized that he just has an army that I can't kill.
Not enough minerals.
This game is over. What do we think is his supply? Is he like close to max? Yeah. Damn it. GG. .5. Was he? I don't know what his. I don't remember. Let's check him out. 4.4? Yeah, maybe that was a Smurf. Let's see. Maybe. I don't think he was, honestly. You remember how the start was? No, he wasn't a Smurf. Why do you always assume it's a Smurf? Like, remember the start in this game, right? It was a really bad start. Lost the Reaper, did the roach attack thing. Just a regular player. But like I said, I'm not like I'm not trying to win the game necessarily. Like I'm just trying to be as educational. So we have a little checklist over here. So this is the checklist that I'm just trying to go through. Where is it? Yep. We have our little checklist for today. So we have the Reaper Hellion aggression. Went terribly. We lost all Hellions for free. We had constant SV production. We can check that in the graph. Like you can see, we had good income. We even at some point were completely outmining him when we took our third finally. Basic double gas build that is more TVT and TVP related. We did do the 1-1-1 setup, or in this case, the 1-1 no starport setup, into triple command center, into 5-1-1, into 2 eBay. We hit the magic numbers: 75 SCVs on 3 base and on 4 base, and 67 on 3 base. These are all the compounds that we try and go for. Education stream seems to not go well. What do you mean? because I lost this game. It's actually perfect that I lost this game because I don't want to like get Grandmaster. This way I can teach people like much better. Like obviously it's nice to win every single game, but if I just start new accounts over and over again and play from Diamond to like Grandmaster, then I'm just smurfing. Then there's like, that would educate people to some extent as well. But in order to do like educational streams like this, we don't have to like win every game. Obviously there's limits to what I'm doing. And in this case we lost to like a master player, which is totally fair though. Like we can put the ego aside. The lessons that we took from that game are still valid, you know? Because most people, they can still take away some things from this game, for example, and implement it in their games, you know? Right? Obviously, a Grandmaster level player would not be able to implement anything to their game. I'm trying to like teach below Grandmaster level. So obviously this is more like a beginner thing and not like a Grandmaster teaching or whatever. Like if I was teaching like a GM player above 5k, I would never teach them stuff like this. But yeah, like this is our checklist for today and we hit everything. We did some Reaper Hellion aggression, it didn't go so well. We had constant SCV production and we had a great setup and we had a great game in the end. The game was entertaining as well, wasn't it? You could never tell what, like, who's gonna win. So not only was it a good educational like content, but also we got an entertaining game. So like this is like the best case. I hope that I don't get GM. Like I hope that I don't get to like 6k or more or whatever, because then I can't teach shit anymore. If I play it like 10k, 6k or more, yeah. We can take one thing away from this game though. Maybe one thing that we can add, at least to my games. I don't know if that's... So like, let's say I wanted to get better. So let's analyze this game from a perspective like, I want to get better, right? So why did I lose this game? Tell me. What was like the biggest reason why I lost the game? Early game was fine. It was not early game related. How did I lose this game? And then no goals, yeah, like, don't tell me that. That's obvious. Obviously, we're not making goals. We're not doing late game. I'll do late game teaching as well. Yes, I'll do late game teaching as well. But I'll do that at some other stream. Today is, like I said, we have this little checklist. Today's checklist is this. We're not doing any here. This today's checklist. We're not doing any late game stuff today. So not getting Liberators and Ghosts is a valid argument, but it's not what I mean. Nidus in the main, exactly. So in the next TVZs, because also yesterday I had a Nidus in my main that was really nasty. So lurkers are a big problem. Lurkers are a big problem. Because obviously the only way to counter lurkers is I get Ghosts. That's at least one very good way of doing it. And lurkers are a big problem. Because they are noob friendly units as well. So we need to leave some tanks behind in order to make sure that like Niduses don't go up. That's like the best I can do. Not cleaning overloads around my base. No, we're not doing that. Like if you think about clearing the overloads on the map, you may be thinking a little bit too far, you know? That's already like too advanced in my opinion. Clearing the overlords, of course, like opening up like at some point with a Viking and just shift clicking the overlords would be like not a bad thing to do. But this is not the main focus because that's already like way too advanced, you know? We want to keep it as basic as possible because we're going too advanced if we like do stuff like leave yeah, like it's correct. Like get a Viking and clear the overlords, but that's too advanced. Better reaction to the Hellion Scout? What do you mean? Well, in this case, I lost my Reaper and he didn't go for a third hatchery, right? Yeah. So in this case, the problem was that I lost my Reaper in the early game. And usually the Reaper checks for the third, but I still got a bunker. If he doesn't make a third, I would go for earlier tank production. So I didn't see a third, so then obviously that's problematic as well. And maybe, just maybe we should do a Hellion Banshee opening. Maybe we should go for a Hellion Banshee opening as well. Because then things like the roaches get a lot easier to deal with as well. But I'm not sure if a Banshee opening would already go too much into build order again. But I think we can sort of try it next time, maybe. I don't think it's necessary, though. We saw a lot of Roach Ravager at the beginning and you didn't react to it? What do you mean with that? I made tanks immediately and I lifted my third. I think my reaction was as good as it can be, basically. Like, of course, I could have not lost as many SCVs. Of course, I could have, like, had better macro. Like, if we go back into replay. Like, of course, I could have just reacted better and, like, have more units. But it's kind of an easy argument, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, sure. I could have made siege tanks earlier. Like, I still made Hellions even after I saw the roaches. I could have just gone, like, to be precise, like, we can... Like, there's many reasons and ways to improve. And yeah, sure, that's, like, another option. Like, if we go back into replay, I can just show you. The biggest argument is I lost the Reaper, by the way. That's the biggest argument. I got greedy. I mismicroed my Reaper. And usually what the Reaper does, it scouts the third. If I don't see a third, then I stick around with the Reaper and I try to get that information. So this is like the biggest reason I lost, or it got complicated. Like, this Reaper would just check the third. And in this case, this is the worst case. Because I lost the Reaper and he was already setting up for a roach attack. So this was not a spontaneous roach attack, it was pre-planned. Even before he killed the Reaper. So this is the worst case. Like, losing the Reaper is usually fine. Because if he has a third, then he can't roach attack me anyways. And if he's not roach or landing, like, to begin with, like he is doing, then yeah. But, like, this was not an issue. What we can do is just optimize the build a little bit. So, like, the moment I see roaches, so, like, right here, I don't make any more Hellions. And this already optimizes the build, like a lot. If we just stop making Hellions here, like, these two are fine, we can make two more. These are fine. But now, I'm making two more Hellions now. And this is, we could slightly optimize the build. Slightly. Like, of course, if you get roach rushed, if you want to talk about optimization, then of course, making more Hellions here is stupid. And they ended up, like, just not doing anything anyways. So that is just stupid, obviously. So that's an optimization we can do. Instead of making two more Hellions, we get a tech lab and a tank out and go faster. 5 barracks, 2 evays, and yeah. Oh yeah, the checklist is a little bit too big. But doesn't matter, you can also listen to what I say and yeah. Can we beat Zero with this build? No. Negative. Okay, I need to use the bathroom quickly. And I want to get one more coffee. So let's do that. Be right back. Small coffee break, my friends. 3 minutes. Okay. Are you gonna do GM teachings as well? Bist noch hier, Nara? Okay, I got my coffee. Ja, durchaus. Aber ich warte noch auf den nächsten Patch. We're doing GM teachings as well, but I'm kind of just waiting for the new patch to arrive. I'm just trying to kill some time here to, like, before the new patch, and I'm also waiting for, like, the IM Katowice announcement and stuff like that. At the moment, I'm just trying to kill some time. My favorite coffee? You mean coffee brand? Oh, found a game. Hold on a second.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Move it.
Sorry, I need to write somebody quickly, so you're gonna have some old tabbing. Some lags, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry for that.
SCV ready.
Oh man. It's double gas. Sorry, one more old tap.
Huh? SCV ready.
Okay, what was the question again? Yeah, coffee.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
I'm glad we
Insufficient
asked the
Vespine gas.
important questions here. Coffee. That was a question, right? Yeah. My favorite coffee brands. I always buy the coffee from one brand is called oh, I don't know how to
Command center upgrade.
well, it's called like Lavazza, something like that.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
And my other favorite brand, but that's like an expensive one, it's called like Illy. Those are my two favorite coffees that I usually go for. The one is a little bit cheaper and more affordable, the other one is pretty expensive.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, TVT, Reaper Hellion. We make the expansion, we put workers back into the gas. There's a random SCV coming my way, I don't know where that comes from. We're doing some Reaper Hellion aggression this game. So let's go for that. No, I'll spell it for you after the game.
Not enough minerals.
Reaper Hellion aggression. Starport 111 setup.
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
And we're just waiting until we have enough Reaper Hellions.
Got something for me to kill. Yes,
Once again, the basic build. As you can see,
Reaper has arrived.
I'm just making sure my build, the basic build, is going well.
I'm listening.
TVT, like I said, there's some exceptions from like some rules. You take the third gas in TVT very early.
Reaper man.
Oh, there's a Reaper in our base. Let's kill it.
I'm listening.
Okay. And now we go for the 111 setup, which is double tac lab, reactor on the barracks, and double tac lab starport factory.
Ready. Ready to raise some hell.
And now what we do in TVT, this is how the macro works. So this is our build, the basic build.
SCV ready.
And now we just make sure that we make SCVs
Complete.
and that we make a Raven and a tank. Raven, tank, and SCV production. And don't forget the depot. That's not too important because we might lose some units now though. And now just headbutt in. My favorite technique, the headbutt. We just YOLO grenades in and then we just YOLO in. And we're making SCVs in the background. And we're trying to get scouting as well. Just make SCVs. And we get very valuable information here, right? We're getting a lot of valuable info. And that's more than enough. From here on out, we can just follow the basic build. We're just making Reaper, not Reaper, Tank, Marine, and Tank, Marine, and Raven production. So the 1-1-1, Tank, Marine, and Raven. Gonna get a bunker, because it looks like a stim push. So bunker, I mean, it doesn't matter. It just always makes sense. As long as you follow the other steps, it doesn't matter in what order you get the other things. So I'm just getting the bunker, and then the third. I mean, it would have been more optimized to like make the third and then the bunker maybe. Maybe the bunker is useless. It just doesn't matter. You just follow the steps. And the steps are, we make tanks, we make ravens, and we make SCVs. This is your highest priority. Tank, Raven, SCVs, and some Marines. So you can put them in a bunker. And nothing else. Everything else is up to you. There's some more optimized like ways of playing. But the basics are what it really comes down to. Alright. So these are the basics. And obviously TVT is a Raven Viking like sort of game. So after we have established a good Raven count, in this case we go up to 3, we make the swap. Barracks and starport, they just swap. And that's fine. Oh, he's dropping over here. We need to do something about that. Viking production and stim production. And this third cannot go down. I'm just gonna matrix. And then the tank is gonna do the rest. Perfect. Cleared up that. Tank needs to be maybe a little bit closer. And now you can see we're banking a lot of money. I'm just making tanks and Vikings right now and supply depots. But now we're gonna add production. We're gonna add our favorite barracks count. It's part of our checklist. We go up to 5 barracks, double eBay, 3 command center. Check. Here we go. Our setup is complete. And of course we always make SCVs. And of course we always make tanks and Vikings. And of course we get additional upgrades. Stim, very important. Take a sip of the coffee. Lovely. It's my favorite time of the day when I can still drink coffee. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're a little supply block. When do you take your third, you might ask? Well, this guy seems to be a little aggressive, so I'm just gonna leave a tank behind in each base. And I'm just gonna take the base with the rest, like this. And we're just gonna spread out the tanks, and then we're gonna focus on putting the SCVs over here. Take the gas immediately, because we're already fully saturated. We make the huge reactor thing. Oh, we're getting attacked. Let's drop some auto turrets. Rapid fire, very nice. Bam. Cleared that. And we're still just making tank, Viking, SCVs. That is an automatic defense. Just having a tank here. Perfect defense. We can start adding some turrets. And now we go for the next part of our checklist. Which the next part of our checklist is we have established the 5 barracks, 3 CC. And now we do 67 SCVs. Next part of the checklist, we have 67 SCVs. So we go up to 4 base. And then we do the standard setup. The standard setup is sensor tower, turret, bunker. As well as some turrets in the main. Yeah, we don't make more SCVs right now because we're waiting for this base to finish. We just drop mules. And we have a good Viking count. So as you can see, I have like 6 Vikings. So we can start making medevacs. And there's also the point where we start making more Marines to our composition. Alright. Don't get supply block. So let's make some supply depots. Another sip of the coffee before it gets cold. And now we're just waiting for like everything. This is like, I can go AFK. Everything is going smoothly. I just press the buttons. I wait for my upgrade to be done. I'm like taking a sip of the coffee. Like this, that doesn't matter. Automatic defense. Oh, not quite.
Upgrade complete.
Not quite automatic. Upgrade complete. We're getting the upgrade. Eco is running. Eco is running. Liberator is annoying. Next time I'm gonna get another turret. Eco is not running anymore. We have to fix that. Put the workers back. Check the worker count 69. Awesome. Combat shields is there. Second factory is something I'm missing. Second factory, you need good tank production. But yeah, now we go up to 75. And we expand. 75, 8 barracks. And then we are automatic again after that. Make medevacs, make tanks. And just expand. Here we are, we have the expansion. We also need to hotkey it. We have enough SCVs. Perfect. There's some marines here, but doesn't matter. We need to think about like the next step. So I'm getting some sensor towers for extra vision. Just get some sensor towers. Don't forget to make the supply depots. And don't forget to drop the mules. And mine from your base. Perfect. I have tanks like spread in a line. But I want to attack myself now. So what we do is we unsiege everything. I guess I'm just gonna leave one tank in the main. One tank in the third. Oh, what's going on with my mouse? I don't know. And now we just make more bio. Now we want to attack. Now we are gonna be the aggressor. So micro. This is the last part of the checklist. We are on 4 base. We have the right SCV count. We make additional command centers. And now we have our own army. And now it's time to go on the map. We should maybe wait for like the 2-2. Never a bad idea. So maybe want to kill some time here. But like the ravens, really key. You scan ahead, see where they're going. And use the ravens. Look at the ravens now. They just go in first. Oh, no. Not like this. I'm waiting for my upgrades quickly. Ravens and Vikings go in first. Maybe you have to siege up a tank before that, so that the Marines just don't go forward and do stuff. Oh, like this. My bad. There's one tank siege up here that's really annoying. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this position. I sent my Vikings forward, the Marines back. And we are just gonna take that position. And have fun. Have fun against this position. Running into the tank line is gonna be nasty. And now we can just macro in the background. Like I'm just rallying Marines tanks in the back. I'm just making CCs with my money that I have remaining. And now we're just chilling until this command center like goes down, I guess. We're losing the Viking control here. Always make sure to retarget with your tanks. The Viking control, not so important. We can just use scans like this. We can just scan. We can expand at the same time. Oh wow. And we took out an expansion. So now take it step by step. We're gonna check the left. No expansion over here. And then I'm just gonna go back home, scan his army. Because I obviously want to macro. Like I want to make sure that my economy is running smoothly. As you can see, we have a lot of like red numbers. We're just gonna fix them. And then we're gonna regroup with my main army over here. So I'm gonna take everything or just use F2. And then we're gonna regroup and come in again. As you can see, I have a lot of overmints, so we can even go up to like a higher factory count and everything. Oh, we're getting pressured here. I don't really want to lose that base, so I'm gonna try and repair that. If you are unsure about your SCV count, just remake some and rally them to the next base. As you can see, I have still 70 something, that's perfectly fine. And make sure you keep track of the other guy's army. So here we know exactly where his army is. So we're just gonna follow that. We have 11 barracks, 3 factories, perfect. We're just gonna go in. I don't know where his army is. I think he might be like going for a counter attack. Oh no, he's right there. I'm pretty sure I can just take a fight as long as I don't run into like siege tanks. So the tanks are not sieged, so we just go. Okay, the tanks are sieged, but there's another technique that we can utilize. And that is the doom drop technique. So we just pick up some tanks. And then we just doom drop them. Amazing technique, isn't it? We just put them right here. Then we siege the tanks, we stim the Marines. We target the Marines ideally. We lose all the medevacs, but that's totally fine. GG. A little bit of a crazy drop, but I mean, we saw his entire army was over here, so it was fine. Alright, coffee brand. No, you write it like this. Actually, I'm double Z. Yeah. Whisper. Oh yeah, this guy whispers me. What is this? Was he supposed to wish me cancer, or what do you mean? He seems to be a very nice dude. And the other brand that I like is called Italy. That's the other brand. Italy. Yes. Ah, he seems like a nice dude. Alrighty. Am I Master 1 yet? Not yet. I lost a couple games already today. So my MMR is not there yet. I don't know if we're gonna reach Master 1. Probably. Pause leave is not BM. To me, they are misclicking when they do that. It's not BM. They just misclick. Alright. Once again, we pull up the nice little checklist. I think we kind of did the right thing in the last game. We did all of these, yeah, points. Keep that checklist in mind. That's today's lesson. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stream for today, by the way. I might already go offline soon.
Not enough minerals.
I might come back later even, I don't know.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Maybe I should have played in the Wardy tournament. Because like streaming while the tournament is going on is a little bit awkward. But I'm just having a good time, honestly. But we're playing too many TVTs again, I feel like. TVTs are getting out of control. Okay, basic double gas opening. Basic double gas opening.
Additional supply depots required.
Once again, we're gonna make one adjustment, however. I want to make one adjustment to my build order, because I think it's gonna make the build a lot stronger. And the adjustment that we're gonna make is we're gonna scout to see whether we get cheesed or not. Because if we see we get cheesed, we have like a lot of good ways of defending, like a Reaper cheese primarily. What cheeses are there in TVT? Well, he can go like proxy Reaper. So that's primarily what I'm looking at. Either way, we're just executing the basic build. Double gas, we're mining from the gas. We're mining 100 gas, then we make the factory. We put 3 workers off the gas after we make the factory. That's how the build works, and that's what we do. Barracks is done, then we make supply depots. Like here, one in the corner where he jumps up with the Reaper. Spotter supplies, and oh my god, no, it's not proxy. He is making a reactor pretty fast. We're not really into scouting yet. Scouting will be a separate like lesson or like theme of the stream. Today we don't pay attention to scouting, so the only thing that we pay attention to is that he's not proxying us. So that means we go 1 Reaper into Reactor. And that is the adjustment that I make to the basic build order. 1 Reaper into the Reactor. And now we're just gonna stay back. We're gonna make the command center. And as soon as we make the CC, we're gonna put workers back into the gas.
Not enough.
So now we're gonna start adding workers back to the gas as soon as that's in the way. This guy can go back into the gas. This guy can go back. And there we go. We're fully saturated again. And as soon as the reactor is done, we're making Reapers out of it. And we're just staying on the high ground here, being careful and not getting supply blocked.
Not enough minerals.
Very important as well, not getting supply blocked.
Not enough minerals.
We just resumed the Hellion Reaper production
Not
here.
enough minerals.
But my opponent is doing a scary build.
Additional
And once
supply
again, we're
depots
setting up for the
required.
1-1-1 because we're playing TVT.
Not enough
And in
minerals.
TVT, it's mandatory to open up Raven. I don't recommend you to not open up with the Raven. This is a little weird by him. He's going reacted Hellions.
Not enough minerals.
Don't get distracted, just follow the build. More Reapers and more Hellions. And then we're just gonna send them across the map, by the way. We're just gonna send them across the map, and the only thing we pay attention to is to make SCVs. And maybe a 3rd gas, because the build order requires that 3rd gas. And then we're just gonna deep dive. And we go for the aggression. Just make SCVs in the background. And micro. Just make SCVs. It's the only macro we really need. Make SCVs. Okay, we have to go. And then we fix our stuff, double tack lab. And we fix everything. We're just gonna keep the units over here, I guess. And we're gonna still micro. No, we're gonna go back. But this was more than enough. The Reaper Hellion aggression paid off. We can macro now. He has a Banshee. So think like a normal human. If he has a Banshee, get a Cyclone. It's one of the disadvantages with this build. I don't have anti-air, so getting a Cyclone is always nice when you don't have anti-air. So I'm just getting a Cyclone. A small adjustment to my build. But then other than that, it's still the same thing. We're just making SCVs and then we're just making Ravens and tanks. We put the Marines in the mineral line, because that's where the Banshees are probably gonna hit us.
Not enough
And then we
minerals.
just wait until the Banshees arrive. I did make a supply over here that could
Additional
spot.
supply depots.
That's you want to make like supply in the corner, so that you can see the Banshee come in here. And once again, we remember the SCV or the minutes. We're 5 minutes into the game, so we should consider taking a 3rd base right now. As soon as we have the money. Looks like I have 400 minerals, so I'm just gonna get it.
Additional supply
And
depots.
yeah,
Research.
we're a little supply block. Let's make another supply
Not
depot,
enough minerals.
shall we? Let's send the Hellion across the map, see what
Not
he's
our
making.
SCVs are
Oh,
under
there we
attack.
go. There's the Banshee. He killed the SCV here. And as you can see, the Cyclone comes in very helpful. Even kills one Banshee. Perfect. And we just leave it here and we just focus on the macro. Make sure that the mineral lines are getting saturated. Make sure that your 3rd base is in production. And make sure you're making Vikings, tanks, and stim. Other than that, there's nothing to really pay attention to. I guess getting supply not getting supply blocked is important. But yeah, I'm putting like 1 Raven in the natural, 1 Raven in the main. Vikings in the natural, so that the Banshees are not doing much work. And other than that, like I said, we're not doing much. We're just getting Vikings and tanks, maybe a couple Marines here and there. And we're setting up into the tank Marine. We're gonna wait until the Vikings are done. And then we're gonna fly in, hopefully get take care of the Banshee. There we go. 9 kills, it actually got a lot of damage done. But yeah, the Banshee is now dead. And we don't want to scan. Today's lesson is not about scouting. We just play our next step of the checklist. That is the 3 CC. And then we go for the 5 barracks, double eBay setup, check. What is the next part of the checklist? It is the 67 SCVs on 3 base. So that's what we're aiming for. We're gonna unsiege. And we're gonna go for that. Oh, 1 more barracks. There's only 4 barracks, not
enough
5.
minerals.
We're gonna get that now. So we're gonna push out.
Not enough
And we're
minerals.
gonna expand. We want to go up to the 67 SCV count. So let's do it. I'm constantly making SCVs. I'm making tanks, I'm making Vikings. And now I'm fixing my economy. I'm basically just managing my economy the entire time. I'm just making sure that I'm constantly making SCVs. That we're constantly dropping mules. That we're making like some more Vikings in the early game. Some more tanks. I don't need to make Marines because I'm gonna have like a lot of barracks soon. And obviously not getting supply block. We can use a cooldown. But yeah, we really just want to like boost up the economy primarily. Just make SCVs, get the defense that you need. Like a couple turrets in the main. He's not playing bio, so maybe we don't need that. And just go for the tank and marine. And just execute this to perfection. So yeah, there we go. We can make a lot of defense. It's like really good as long as we have the economy, you know. As long as we're making SCVs, as long as we're expanding. As long as we're hitting the magic numbers, the benchmarks. So what is one benchmark? 8 minutes into the game. Let's get a 4th base. 8 minutes into the game, we should make a 4th. That's like one benchmark, for example. Upgrade benchmark, like we're getting the upgrades. Oh, look at that. Banshees, conveniently we have Vikings in position. And because we never macro, we also have conveniently a scan. Just take it out. Oh, he lost one SCV. We take one SCV from here and put it back. Oh, he's doing an attack. Okay, this is a little bit dangerous. So how to manage an attack is use F2, select the ravens, and then just go. Like just them in, matrix, 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 siege up the tanks, land the Vikings even, and just go. The ravens can die. You're just gonna crush the fight and everything is good in life. And then make depots. And yeah, as you can see, he agrees. And as you can see, now we have marine production. So yeah, marine production is there. We can go into the second factory and then complete our setup. So we have enough SCVs, we have enough defense. Oh, he just leaves. He's on 2 base, I guess. Kind of. Bad game. What are these people doing? Jokesters. Ravens, fuck you and fuck ravens. Have a good day as well. Oh, we got another whisper. Funny. I mean, the TVT, it is very good. I agree with that statement. TVT is extremely good to make a Raven, yeah. But like, the thing is always like, I never understand like people complaining about like game design things. Like, just make your own Raven, bro. Or then don't play StarCraft if you don't like it, you know. In my opinion, Raven play is even, like, fun. To some extent, at least. It makes the TVT matchup a lot more stable, which I like. To some extent, it's fun. So I don't even think it's, like, the worst thing in the game, you know? In general, in StarCraft, I don't think there's any, like, bad thing in the game. But yeah, that's just how TVT works. But the reason he lost is not because of the Raven. The reason he lost is because he played weaker. That's always the thing to keep in mind. You always have infinite room for improvement. So that's why I never get like any complaints like that. They're kind of hilarious to me. Like, I feel like I'm like, if you're like above 6k, you can complain about the Raven, you know? If you're like a Terran above 6k and you complain about the Raven, then sure, okay. But like, it's not mandatory to build the Raven. I would always recommend it because it's actually that good. But like, you make so many other mistakes that it's like, you don't lose because the Raven is imba or whatever. Yeah. You lose because you play poorly. Like, I can get to 6,000 or more by just making Marines and Medevacs only. And maybe some Marauders against Colossus or something like that, you know? So like strategy or balance or whatever has like not a lot of impact early on. It has more impact at the higher level. But I think that's no secret. And I don't even know why I'm talking about it as if I cared about it so much. I just thought this comment was funny there. I like people like that. They're funny to me. One thing I don't like is, like, I don't know, in like shooters when you call out the opponent as a hacker. That's the only way I don't enjoy these people. Like, if these people are actually like genuine and like, they're not like funny mad, but like annoying mad, you know? I feel like annoying mad is when you have like, you're playing like a shooter or something with like teammates. And there's always those guys that then call the other team like hackers or whatever, you know? It's like very common in those games to like call out the enemies as hackers. And I hate playing with these guys. It's like you're losing the game and then immediately you're gonna say like, oh my god, they are hacking. You're playing a video game after all, you know? Like, stop complaining. You're just having fun, you know? Stop complaining. Like, okay, maybe they are hacking. Like, maybe 10% of the time you're right. Maybe 5% of the time you're right. Maybe you're never right. I just want to enjoy my little, like, shooter game or whatever. Stop complaining that the other guys are hacking or whatever. But then if you're on the other side of the enemy team and then you get called as a cheater, you know? So, like, people call you a cheater in, like, a shooter game or whatever. It's, like, the biggest compliment in the world. And that, like, it always makes me smile. Now, I don't really play any shooters or whatever, but I used to play some here and there. And that makes me smile here as well, you know? Reading a comment like that, I take it as a nice compliment. That's why I care about it. It just brightens my day. This and the coffee, it brightens my day, I have to admit. I hope you're having a good time as well. I need to run ads again. Let me do that. Yeah. Called a hacker. In StarCraft, if you're called a hacker, it's usually unreasonable. In FPS games, I can sort of understand it. But yeah, as long as I'm not playing with these guys, I think it's always hilarious and I like them. Like, to me, it's like just funny. I'm drunk. Coffee just brightens my day, honestly. I'm a very bitter person as well, so yeah. I'm just waiting a minute or so and then we're gonna continue. No, I'm not gonna press game right now. I'm just waiting for the ads to be over. Small ad break. Some dudes are raging at me. Yeah, some dudes are raging at me. Okay, now we can search. I'll play a few more games, but I think I'm gonna go offline soon. Oh, another TVT. I'm getting so much TVT. Is everybody a Terran at this MMR? It can't be. I'm getting sniped. Well, I guess you're gonna listen to me play TVT again. Reaper Hellion Pressure. Reaper Hellion Pressure, my friends. Let me talk you through once again.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Honestly, I think I might just stream a little longer because I just feel like it.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Good luck, have fun. As you can tell, I'm kind of enjoying these kind of educational streams. I should have done them much earlier. At the moment, I'm just waiting for IEM announcement. That's just my prediction. I think they're gonna announce IEM Katowice very soon, because I think they have to like have qualifiers in December. It's already early February, the event. So I feel like they need to be having qualifiers soon.
Not enough.
And I just got paid as well by ESL from their events this year. So I feel like right now there's some stuff happening. I feel like we're gonna get an announcement very soon. And of course I'm waiting for the new patch. But primarily I just enjoy doing educational content. So that's why I'm just having a good time. Like, you know, like I'm just having a good time and trying to produce like the best content while also having a good time. So yeah, I think this is just better than me getting frustrated over TVP. Even if sometimes maybe the commentary is a little bit repetitive. But if you want to get better, I hope I can teach you a couple things. Okay, we scout. We see he's playing double gas himself. That's totally fine. So, we scout at 18. We see he's doing the same. I could have stuck around to see the factory, but I'm an expert. I know he's doing the same. We go for the Reaper, we go for the Reactor, and we follow the build. You can keep the Reaper on top of the ramp. That's usually the safest. We have a spotter depot here, in case he moves in with his Reaper. And then, yeah, we're gonna take the gas as soon as we make the command center. A little bit after that, maybe as soon as like we make the Hellion, it's like more precise. So like now we make the Hellion, and now we put workers back into the gas. Bam, 3 and 3. And now we also go for the Reaper production, as well as another supply depot. I'm gonna make it in the corner this time. And of course, we always have constant SCV production, and we're going for some Reaper Hellion aggression. And the only macro that we really do is like make SCVs in the background, basically. Obviously, in this case, we want to have a 1-1-1 setup. So I'm gonna make the starport with like this SCV, for example. And then we just make more Reapers and more Hellions. 5 Reapers, 3 Hellions. That's the opening. 5 Reapers, 3 Hellions, and then YOLO. Okay. Gas in the natural. And we just continue the macro. Command center is always producing SCVs. The 1-1-1 setup is getting closer to completion.
Additional supply depot.
We're getting a tech lab. We're getting this. And maybe we're gonna make some Marines now as well. And now we go with these units. And now the only macro that we do, like, pay attention. So, the starport, not done. We just make a quick Cyclone in case it's Banshee. And now we just make SCVs. Just make SCVs and just YOLO. Focus on the micro. Just make SCVs and just dive in. Okay, we can't dive in. That's too much, right? We're just making SCVs. And we're gonna continue the aggression. I'm just gonna jump into the main now. I'm making a Raven. And make SCVs. Make SCVs and just dive in. Hold position, micro. Okay, perfect. Now we macro. Make SCVs, make tank, make Raven, and go back. We got all the scouting. Everything is good. Now we just macro. This was the Reaper Hellion aggression. Now we just macro. Marine, tank, Raven production, 1-1-1 setup. So what is the next step? We got the 1-1. I'm even queuing up a lot of SCVs, as you can see. This is not optimal. Let's not do that. We have the 1-1-1 setup. We're making 1-1-1, Marine, tank, Raven. We're making SCVs. We're hitting the net, like now we're hitting the benchmarks. The first benchmark that we're hitting is 5 minutes into the game. 5 minutes into the game, we consider taking a third base. So let's do that. 5 minutes into the game, we save some money and we make the third. We make extra depots. We can already take the gas here because we're like fully saturated soon here. And we just produce out of every production facility until we hit the next benchmark. And the next benchmark is, well, when is it actually? It depends. It's when you're like fully saturated in your natural usually. So we're just focusing on making Marines, Vikings after the third Raven here. You can also do it after the second Raven. Doesn't really matter if you make 3 or 2 Ravens. Don't forget the Matrix. And now we start the Viking production and the Stim and the tank production. And now you can see I'm getting a lot of money. And I'm like fully saturated over here. So this is the next benchmark. We're fully saturated here. And now we're gonna make the barracks. Barracks explosion, 4 of them in total. And double eBay at the same time. The triple CC 5-1-1 setup with double eBay. Here we go. And then primarily we make tanks and Vikings. Tanks and Vikings. Send the Hellion across if you want to. Tanks and Vikings. Tanks and Vikings. We just put everything at the front. Doesn't matter. Oh, there's something. Matrix, Matrix, Matrix. Auto turrets. Matrix, 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 auto turret. Okay, he's crushing us. Let's go back. Pull SCVs and just go. Land the Vikings. Just go. Strong push by him. We need to hold on no matter what. Always make SCVs in the background.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, we defended, kind of. Siege.
Not enough minerals.
He had a better army than us. This was really scary. We're just fixing economy. Take a small breather and then we just expand regardless. Like we just follow the steps. We get the 5 barracks. We make tank and Viking. Tank and Viking, tank and Viking. We get upgrades and now we even expand. It's a little bit dangerous, however. We make some turrets, I guess, maybe. Some turrets. And then we focus on the front. We focus on the front. We siege up the tanks. Viking tank production. And now the 5 barracks is complete, right? We are fully saturated here. We take the gas. And just spend your money now. 67 SCVs. We are there. Let's spend our money now. Let's make a lot of Marines. And let's really pump up the macro.
Not enough minerals.
What's going on?
Depots.
Go ahead.
So this is our next benchmark. We had our SCV count and now we complete our setup. Sensor tower, turret, bunker. Sensor tower, turret, bunker. We're at 69 SCVs. Let's make a 4th base. Let's siege up the tanks. Let's get combat shields. Let's get upgrades. And let's get like a 2nd factory. We're completing the setup here. The Vikings need to be active.
Not enough minerals.
And you need to constantly produce tanks. Tank production is really important because we don't have a lot of tanks right now. We're gonna siege them a little bit closer as well.
Mineral field insufficient.
What does he have? Does he have like mass Vikings or what does he have?
Armed and ready.
Yeah, kind of. So as you can see, he has a very tank heavy army. We should like matrix the tanks and we need to wait for combat shields. Combat shields is a very important upgrade. But I'm just making units out of my production facilities. Like my setup is complete. Just making stuff. I'm just spending my money. Like I'm not making SCVs. We've reached the benchmarks. The benchmarks are fully saturated. We just have 1 benchmark left and that's expanding 1 more time. And going up to the last like barracks. 8 barracks. There's 1 more step after that you can take, like going up to 11 barracks, but it's not mandatory. This is mandatory step. We now go up to 65, and we take the 4th base. Okay, he's coming this way. That's totally fine. We're just gonna ignore it for now. And we're just gonna focus on expanding. We know where he is. Okay, we know where he is. Let's try and set up a Raven fight. So I'm gonna hotkey my Ravens, and I'm gonna just go for it now. I'm gonna unsiege everything. And we just matrix the tanks in the back, ideally. And then we just go. And that should win us the fight. We just press the Marine button in background. As long as we get the matrix off, we don't even need to micro, as you can see. We're just winning the fight. Okay, we need to clear the macro here. Like, the production needs to go well. We have idle SCVs. We can make an planetary here. And once again, everything is automatic now. Like, we have the production, we have the upgrades, we have the economy running. Like, we don't need to worry about anything right now. We have everything. Everything that we need. We can just F2, unsiege. We have a sensor tower at the third. We can maybe get a few more turrets over here. We had a very good SCV count. Yeah. The bunker here is not necessary, but whatever. We can get like another sensor tower here. We can even get like another sensor tower here. On some maps, it's better to make more sensor towers than on others. I don't need to make the command centers. I'm not even maxed. I would recommend making these additional command centers when you're maxed. I'm just waiting for my upgrades right now, and then I'm gonna push. I guess that gives us enough time to quickly repair the Ravens, because they actually survived. Either way, we're just maxing out. We're getting some safety here as well, some more turrets. And the next step is, where's his army? So we have the perfect setup. We don't need to worry about making SCVs. We have the perfect setup. Everything is complete. We just make tank marine and attack now. Make tank marine and attack. And the last step of upgrades. Okay. Well, maxed out. We have 2-2. Let's go. Let's not take a 5th base yet. Let's first attack, and then we can worry about the macro. So here's the attack. We're gonna send like the Ravens forward. We're gonna scan ahead. We see he's completely out of position. And we just matrix the tanks. And then siege up our own tanks. And in this case we have way more than him. Because we hit the benchmarks. And we're just able to absolutely murder him. I'm just holding down the Marine button, making some tanks and medevacs as well. And yeah, he went for... You can see he doesn't have the same structure, you know? He doesn't have the same structure. He went like triple factory, like complete freestyle. We hit the benchmarks, the setup, and then it just went. Like, we have always the same structure. 75 SCVs. I don't have gas over here. I have like a sensor tower set up here with a bunker. I have like defensive turrets. Like, we just know what we're doing basically. We follow like a plan, and we do this plan every single game. This is how you get good at StarCraft, in theory. Practice, you also need to have quick fingers. When do I make additional starports? With this style, I never go late game. We play a no late game style. We don't play late game here. Maybe at some other point I'll explain late game. But I'll do it like step by step. We're not talking about late game here. We just spam tank marine and just win with like pure macro. And in this case today we do some early game aggression as well, some micro. We focus on microing the Ravens. We focus on the early game Reaper Hellion aggression. But then the setup is always the same, because there's not much micro you can do. In StarCraft there isn't like such precise micro. Especially not in TVT. In TVT the only micro you do is like get the matrix on the tanks. But obviously StarCraft 2 in general is like a very macro heavy game. You can't individually like micro units. It's not very effective, especially at lower level. The point of Vikings is to kill Ravens. air control is mandatory in TVT. Having vision, being able to deal with medevac drops, being able to deal with your opponent's Vikings. Like, Viking tank Raven opening is just normal in TVT. Like, think about it like this. Why don't I go Marines? Because Marines require stim, +1, and combat shields before they're useful. Like, Marines without upgrades are just garbage. So in the early game, it's all about Viking, Raven opening, and tanks. Like, tanks, of course, is always the case in TVT, but I can show you quickly. Like, Marines without upgrades are just hot garbage. And tanks are just a counter, basically. So you don't see, like, many, like, Marine heavy openings in TVT because of that. You would just... If I open up, like, Marine heavy, you would just not be able to deal damage, or we just die against, like, a tank push. So, like, here, look at this. Marines, we just do, like, the most basic fight. 30 Marines against 4 tanks. Like, very basic. 30 Marines. They have stim. Here we go. 30 Marines against 4 tanks. No upgrades. We just attack. Oh, wait. This was a little awkward. Let's do it here so the tanks don't fire immediately. So here we go. Attack. 40 Marines. No stim. No micro. Oh. They kind of stopped there, but whatever. We just dive in. Okay. We did tickle them a little bit. Now, 30 Marines, 4 tanks. We're gonna stim. We're gonna stim without combat shields. Stim, no combat shields. No difference, right? Stim makes, like, very little difference. Stim only makes the difference if you get, like, caught as a Terran. And now, we do stim and combat shields. Same fight, stim, combat shields. Let's go. And suddenly, you see a difference. Do you understand? Split at least. No, we don't need to. This is all we need. We don't care about the micro. Like, of course, I can split and then... Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. If I only split my Marines individually, right? Like, if I do it like this... yeah, of course, I'm gonna win the fight as well, but... this is not the point of this. We're not trying to... Let's do it now. I'm gonna micro like Twitch chat always does in their games. This is Twitch chat micro. So this is how Twitch chat would solve this problem, right? This is how Twitch chat would do it. Bro, you don't need, like, combat shields. Just split your Marines, yeah. Just split my Marines, right? So this is how Twitch chat would take a fight. I'm sorry, I'm not as good as you guys, so yeah. I can't do it like this, unfortunately. So my surround here is a little bit ugly, isn't it? My surround here is not as optimal as you would do it, probably. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't set up the right kind of fight. Ah, yeah, if Marines come in like this and... Ah, okay. Ah, this is how we have to do it. Yeah, sorry guys. Tanks are so bad. Oh my god, tanks are garbage. Ah, yeah. Ah, my bad. My bad. My bad. It's... I have to split the Marines, of course. No, in seriousness, when I test these things, we do like the most basic tests. Same conditions. So the condition is we have 30 Marines and we just A-move into 4 tanks. No split. Of course, if I split the units, they're gonna trade better. Like, of course, here, I'm not gonna touch anything. And of course, if I'm, like, splitting my units a little bit, like here, I'm gonna split them, like, a little bit at least. Like this, it's already gonna make a huge difference. Or if I, like, stutter step forward, like, it's already gonna make a difference, as you can see. Like, now we can at least kill some tanks, or we can even get close enough so that he can't do shit. Like, of course. But I just wanna do the test. No micro, same condition. And then we just do the test. No stim. stim and stim plus combat shields. And that's what we do. No stim, we can barely touch the tanks. With stim, we can barely touch the tanks. With stim, no combat shields. Same condition, we just A-move. We barely touch the tanks. And then we just get combat shields, and suddenly with combat shields, everything changes. And that is the main point that we're trying to make. Suddenly that we have combat shields and we do the same thing, we just A-move. Suddenly the Marines can stim, they survive one more hit, and suddenly we win the fight. And this is a perfect example, isn't it? There you go. So this is why Marines in the early game in TVT are not good. Marines are only good when they have combat shields and stim. But you don't get combat shields and stim until very late into the game. Because if you do it too early, you die to tank pushes, you get harassed by like cyclone drops, you die against tank pushes, like the main thing probably. The other guy can just camp and get better units. So this is why in TVT it's always like Raven opening into mass Vikings. And then you go from one barracks that researches stim and combat shields and double evac. You go up to 5 immediately. And then as soon as you have your setup ready, you just start like pumping out the Marines. As soon as you have all the upgrades, basically. As soon as you have 1-1 stim and combat shields. That's why. Because Marines without upgrades are useless. They're nice support, like having some Marines to your tanks in the early game is obviously mandatory, because you can't just make only tanks. Marines are required for a little bit of extra DPS, you know? If I could, like, sell my barracks, like, if I can, like, let's say, sell my barracks for 100% of its cost, and I can still make, like, an orbital without a barracks, then there would be other alternatives. But since you have the barracks, you might as well make some Marines, you know? Later on, after the Reaper Hellion early game. But yeah, that's the theory in like very precise or very in-depth and like explanation. Very in-depth explanation. Do I push with 3 Ravens, tanks, and Marines at 6 minutes? You can. You can do like timings, and I'll teach you like timing pushes as well. Like today is not the focus on like Raven timings. But we're gonna do that as well. We're gonna hit timings. That's gonna be another like part of the educational streams. We're gonna have like I said, I created a small checklist today. So this is the checklist for today. This is all we pretty much talk about today. This is like the main thing of today. There's many ways to get better. This is what we try and implement in our gameplay today. We focus on the Reaper Hellion early game aggression. We make sure we always make SCVs. We need to know the basic double gas build, like you need to know how to play double gas. And you need to understand the 1-1-1 setup into 3cc, 5-1-1, 2 evac. It sounds complicated, it isn't. And you need to hit the magic SCV numbers. This is what you want to learn from today's stream. Yesterday we focused more on the macro and the build order, for example. Like yesterday we had a more precise build order. So if you want to learn more about build orders, you can watch the stream from yesterday. If you want to learn more about micro and like early game aggression, you can watch this stream. Yeah. I need to, I drank too much coffee. I need to pee. Be right back. 3-minute break, quickly. Okay, no cyclone drop for today. No. We're still doing this today. Cyclone drop is also like, these kind of openings are a technique that I would not recommend. Like today is like more coaching for like anyone below GM, I guess. Or not coaching, but like the educational stream is like for anyone below like GM level, I guess. And to be honest, like a cyclone drop opening is not something I would ever recommend. Maybe at master level I would, but it's really not that easy to execute. But yeah, I just think about like some things that we do each stream. Like today I created this little checklist. Today we focus on this, as I've already explained multiple times. We're primarily still getting the setup, but we're doing some early game aggression with Hellion Reaper, very basic. And we're just trying to hit like the SV numbers and stuff. Why not just one game? No, not today. Like I said, today I want to stick to my plan here. This is my checklist for today. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to structure my educational streams more. Maybe next time we do cyclone drop openings or whatever. But not today. Late GG, thank you. And PVDu as well, by the way. For the resubs. What keyboard? It's called Razor Huntsman. Yeah, I mean, VOD is always available on Twitch and on YouTube. I even created a playlist on YouTube that is called like educational content or educational live streams or whatever. And yeah, the VOD is available there. It's also available on Twitch right now. You go to videos and then past broadcasts, you're gonna find it. TVZ, finally a non-TVT again. So TVZ, we lost the game today, and I did have some valuable lessons there in the TVZ matchup. And I think the valuable lessons that we can take from that TVZ that I played is we can consider getting a few turrets in the main, and we should also consider leaving some tanks behind against like Nidus and stuff like that. That's the two things that I learned from my TVZs today. So yeah, let's follow it up. We're gonna hit our benchmarks, we're gonna play well. Is the checklist still there? No, everything is fine. Obviously, out macroing the Zerg is kind of difficult. Ooh. Ah, cold coffee, nice. That's mainly milk left. That's fine. So yeah, let's go. We're gonna send the SCV across the map. We're gonna send one SCV down to make the second command center. Reaper plus orbital command. And then let's see what happens. So here we go.
Not enough minerals.
Boop, command center. We're gonna send one SCV to make the barracks. And once again, this is the basic build. Mandatory for everybody. If you play Terran and you want to get better, if you just started playing, you have to learn this. Reaper into Marine. Like this SCV scouts if he's hedge first. Hedge first, we go back. This SCV makes the third command center. This SCV makes the factory. And after the Reaper, we make one Marine before the reactor to push back the Overlord. And yeah, that's how we do it. Now we're gonna send the Reaper across. The Reaper is gonna try and get a Zergling kill. And then it's gonna try and get a scout onto the third base. So we're gonna do a little bit of kiting here. Maybe get a drone kill if possible. No, we don't. So we're just gonna back off and we're gonna scout the third. And we see the third. That means we're just gonna go back all the way back home. This is all the information you need to gather. This is the Reaper aggression. You don't really need to do more micro than this. There isn't so much to talk about when it comes to micro. I don't know why I titled my stream Micro today. Because micro in StarCraft 2 is kind of hard to like win the game with, you know. So yeah, we're just doing the basic micro. So we do the Reaper scouting, then we go into the factory. And now even gonna get like a safety bunker, because why not? So we just got like the most basic setup. In TVZ, you don't need to go for the starport. So this is not a 1-1-1 setup. This is gonna be like a barracks setup, you know. We're just getting a barracks here with a bunker. And we're gonna make stim and marine production, put the marines inside that bunker. And that should be fine, right? We're just gonna build up a Hellion count. We go up to like 8 or 6. I'll decide spontaneously. But now we're just focusing on the macro. We have a third command center. We just make SCVs. We have a safety bunker. And that should be everything. We can start adding like supply depots to the wall. And we can start adding siege tanks. If we didn't scout a third, I would have probably even cut the Hellions and go for tanks earlier. But this way, we're just getting 6 Hellions and then we're going into tanks. And now we're just gonna run by the Hellions. We're gonna send them across the map. We're gonna make SCVs. Just continuously make SCVs. Oh, an Overlord, we can kill this. Just continuously make SCVs. And just that pose with that one guy over there. And just run the Hellions in. We're just gonna deep dive. Like just YOLO. And that's the little micro that we do. We YOLO in. Okay, as Zerglings we can't do shit. So you should probably not YOLO. So now what we do is you can see I'm fully saturated everywhere. So I try and take my gas everywhere. And then I try to go for the same like always. And the same like always is 5 barracks, double engineering bay, just like that. We go up from like 1-1-1, or in this case we don't have the starport, so we just make it now. And then we get the 5 here. We put like workers and gas. I have 16 out of 16 here. 3 out of 3 here. 3 out of 3 here. 3 out of 3 here. Let's take the third. We're fully saturated on 2 base, I mean. Let's take the third. Let's make sure that we hit all the upgrade timings, so eBays are done. Bam, upgrades in production. Let's slide SCVs to the next base. And let's make more SCVs. If we have some minerals in the bank, make extra supplies like this. Can be helpful as well. And now we're just expanding. We scouted with the Hellions. We scouted that he's playing normal. And now we just do like the regular thing, which is getting mass reactors. We're gonna produce some marines because we have so many minerals. But yeah, we're just getting a lot of reactors. As you can see, I'm like close to fully saturated here, so I take my gas. And we're just gonna siege up the tank at the front. And we're gonna get the triple sensor tower bunker setup, like this. And we'll get the turret in each mineral line as well, because I mean, what if he goes mute us? I think it's unlikely, but hey, why not? We're hitting all the numbers. First magic number, 67 SCVs. So now we stop making SCVs for a moment. And we're maybe gonna consider making more marines. We're maybe adding more medevacs now. We're thinking about our upgrades. We're thinking about our next expansion. We want to like take a 4th base after 67, right? 67 SCVs. Let's make a 4th base. We still have the Hellions, but whatever. We don't really need to micro them. We make sure that we hit like supply depots. And we just macro now. Like now making SCVs is not necessary. Because we have enough on 3 base. So now we wait until we are on 4 base. And then we add the rest of our SCVs. For now, we just try and hit the perfect setup. And I mean, as always, the perfect setup is 8 barracks and 2 factories. Maybe if you get the money, some more factories later on, maybe you can already add like some SCVs, like you can see. Doesn't matter if you make first the barracks now and then the SCVs. I'm just gonna add my SCVs until I'm at 75, because I can. And then I'm getting the upgrades. And then I'm getting additional barracks. 8 in total. 2 factories. We drop the mules constantly and we just hold down the marine button. Marine, medevac button. Marine, tank and medevac button. And of course, don't forget to add some supply depots. You can make them here. And one thing I would add is getting some turrets, because last time Nidus got really annoying. So I'm just gonna add a turret ring in the TVZ matchup here as well. Just adding some turrets before I take my fourth. And then we take the fourth. We kill the changeling. And we now slowly go towards the fourth. We take enough SCVs to go with us. 16 in total. Put them over there. 8 from the main base. And now we just saturate the base. We leave one tank behind here. The rest goes to the fourth base. And then once again, fourth base, sensor tower, and a turret. And we're gonna max out. We are 75 SCVs. We have perfect saturation on like every base. And we're just waiting until we're maxed out, until we hit the 2-2 upgrades roughly. And then we're gonna go for an attack. So let's do that. We're gonna add Marauders now, Concussive, the remaining Marines, the remaining tanks. A couple more Medivacs can be fit in here as well. Maybe 2 more SCVs over here, because then we're fully saturated. Maybe another command center already. And now, I think we're maxed out, right? So we just hit one more time the Marine button. Oh, siege up the tanks against the Banelings. And pull back the Marines. Like, that's the main micro you want to do. So when taking the fight, just pull back the Marines a little bit each time. Like this. And then, oh, I lost some Medivacs, by the way, that wasn't optimal. And then just macro. Like, don't think about, like, your SCV production or whatever. Just build units, and if you have overmints, just add command centers. Slowly. I also need additional upgrades. Let's siege the tanks one by one. So we siege some tanks slowly. Oh my god, he's already done morphing. Let's go behind the tanks. And then micro back that way. As you can see, there's no Ultralist, so I'm not gonna care about Marauder production. I first want to have my 3-3. I'm lacking the gas right now. Let's take a cheeky position here. Or let's just go forward. Going forward is easier. I'm not pushing for my main army right now. I'm kind of like, I have a lot of stuff at home. Keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna focus on taking out the base here. And I think then I'm already happy. We took out the base, we're gonna pick up, and we're just gonna leave. I'm floating a lot of money. So in order to fix that, we just add command centers again on orbitals. And now we're just gonna F2, and we change the angle. I lost my sensor tower here, by the way. So I'm gonna remake it. We're gonna change the angle, and we're gonna add production, because I'm like maxed out. I can easily add a few more barracks. Change the position, we go to the center. With everything, we have a sensor tower here, so we see everything over here. And we're just gonna slowly siege the tanks one by one. Oh, we get surrounded. But my Marines are well positioned, I just have way more than him anyways. So we can easily take that fight. We're gonna make sure we have everything else hotkeyed. Oh, let's not go up the ramp like that. We're getting fungal if we do that. And now, I guess we're contesting the gold base. I need to macro for a second, but I'm just gonna focus on my micro. Because, like, we don't need to take a 5th immediately. Keep in mind, our economy is running smoothly. Like, everything here is going smoothly right now. We don't necessarily need a 5th base right now. It'd be nice to macro right now and take it, but I want to focus on my aggression first. So I'm just focusing on the aggression. If you can macro at the same time, it's great. I just can't. Okay, see, like now, feels like I'm getting pushed back, so I should take a moment to macro. So we have this base, we can take it. With these orbitals, we can take them. And that's all the macro we have to do. We took a 5th base, and we adjusted our rally point and made some orbitals. And now we just, oh my god, go here, select the Marines, and move back. Oh wow, this is actually good for us. We can get the jump on the lurkers and get like a slight trade here. But yeah, we have to go all the way back, and we have to go all the way back home here. That gives us more than enough time to select all the idle SCVs and more to expand over here. He actually has a borrowed unit there. Cheeky. Let's remax. Let's use a couple like mules here. Maybe not all of them. I just use like all my mules. And let's remax. Marine, tank, marauder, sensor tower, turret over here. And we're just really maxing out right now. That's a beautiful trait. We're just maxing out. We're just holding down the marine button. We have 11 barracks at production. We have more than enough medevacs. We can even get level
Insufficient
3.
Vespine gas.
And we're just making stuff. Beautiful. Take a few more SCVs from this base. Can make like another command center here, I guess.
Command center upgrade.
And now we can go back to the center. And we have another 200 supply army. Oh my god, there's a lot of lurkers. Let's use the tanks carefully here.
Mineral field depleted.
Let's target the Banes. But you can see lurkers are a huge problem.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Lurkers in TVT are nasty.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
We're just gonna macro and try again.
Mineral
Let's
field
use F2
depleted.
and all the units that we have basically. And let's add some turrets in the main. In case he flies in with like an overseer or something. We need to come in from like a flank and finally get in range with the tanks here. We're just gonna try and get in on top. We're gonna siege up the tanks and we're just gonna dive in. He's on off creep so we can snipe a couple lurkers and then go back. Unsiege everything. Reinforce. Scan ahead. See where the lurkers are. Click on them. See what the range is. Siege a couple tanks there. And then walk towards the side. Like I'm trying to avoid them now. I'm just gonna try and avoid them. And I'm trying to siege forward. Stim in marauders forward. Like this. Stim marauders forward. Go with tanks forward. And just commit. We don't care about the macro. Everything is running smoothly. We're just making marines with our hotbar, with the hotkeys. And we're not expanding really. Because we have everything. Like there's an expansion here, but we don't need to use it yet. I guess we can take this one over here. Quickly. And that's it. He needs to like carefully abduct with like vipers, but at the same time he's also like constantly losing stuff, as you can see. Even here with the vipers he's not able to get a perfect trade. And that gives us some time to unsiege, drop a medevac here to kill this, and maybe even get the jump on every single lurker down here. We're gonna siege up the tanks, and we're just gonna avoid the lurkers. We have tank siege in the middle. Let's go to the side where lurkers aren't present, and let's just hit the unit button at the same time. Okay, there's enough Zerglings over here. So maybe we should pick up the tanks and just go back and F2 into the middle. To not lose everything at once. I'm just gonna siege in the middle and I'm just gonna take a quick breather to focus on my macro. Sensor tower turret. We can use like these marines quickly to take care of this burrowed Zergling, I guess. Quickly take it out. We don't need this expansion over here. We need a planeteer over there though. I think at this point you can tell we have a lot more units than he has. So we can actually just headbutt in. My favorite way of doing it. We'll just headbutt into the lurkers. It's gonna be easy. I do this because I'm afraid that he's currently like setting up a counter attack here. So I would like to get the... Oh my god, I unsiege every single tank right when he committed. Okay, we're gonna kite with the marines. Oh, we need to split a little bit against the fungal. And now, as you can see, the marauders soak up the damage. I'm just using F2A move, F2A move, pull back marines. I'm not doing much micro here. I think we can drop a quick mule hammer as well. Here we have the mule hammer, that's gonna give us infinite money. As you can see, I'm never really making medevacs because I always keep them alive. And now, I think the macro is going beautifully for us. As you can see, we're maxed out. We're constantly maxed out. We can maybe take the gas here because we're running out of gas in the main base. If you're running out of gas in the main, you can take another gas at the fourth or whatever. And he is actually running out of steam entirely. He doesn't have anything left. So we can just go ahead and finish him. Click on the lurker, see how far their range is. And in this case, I can even be crazy enough to just deep dive in. Brute Lords. Against Brute Lords, I guess we add a couple Thors to the composition. But yeah, in this case it's all about the macro and just spamming units, and we just do that until we win the game. We don't think about getting other units. We can think about getting Vikings. Vikings and Thors are a decent answer. And if we have too many overmints, we can think about getting more command centers. Very lovely as well. And we can get more planetaries on the map as well. Like just get another PF over here. Select some SCVs, make like sensor tower turret, and like check your eco. Like I'm everywhere like perfectly saturated, so I don't need to worry about my macro so much. So we don't even need to expand right now, basically. just gonna gather my army again. We're gonna take care of this little zergling over here. And yeah, we're just expanding. I haven't gotten building armor yet. Let's get it. One pro tip on this map. You can drop like a tank in, or you can put a tank in the middle, like this. And then siege it up. And even if you use F2 now, you always have the Naga tower if this tank is sieged here. See? Very nice. Okay, let's change the angle once. He probably has an expansion down here. So I'm gonna take care of that. We have doors. Let's change the mode. And let's just go for it, because he doesn't have much things. Pretty much only on like brute lords, so there's one lurker. There isn't quite enough splash to do anything. GG. GM level micro? That wasn't like GM level micro, I just aim moved usually. Setting up concaves against lurkers is always helpful. Ghost micro? Yeah, but today we're not making any ghost. Eventually at some other stream maybe, yeah. We're still going for like the very basic macro heavy style, which I would recommend most people. Because if you just perfect this, you're just gonna win every game with like a 200 supply push, you know. Like if you just have good macro and just max out with any units, you're probably gonna be fine. Well, unless it's like pure marine against Colossus or whatever. Just have to have like really good macro, of course. That's like the simplest way, but there's many ways. Like you can do, I'm trying to do some early game aggression with Hellion Reaper here. Doesn't have to be just purely macro based like this. Just one of many options you have to like improve and win the game at like lower level primarily. In order to become innovation with this, you need to have like more optimized builds. This is not for like GM players and higher, because GM players and higher need like more optimized builds. No, I never really followed Digimon. Detektivkonen, nej. Whew, I'm a little bit exhausted, I have to admit. I am a little bit exhausted for today. I might call it here actually. Kind of considering it right now. Yeah, I think I will. I think it's time for me to go. Should I stream later again, maybe? Maybe I can play some more games later today. I'm not sure about it though. There's one more thing that I have to do this week. There's some stuff I need to take care of as well, so I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. I don't think I'm gonna come back later today, but if not later today, I'll be back tomorrow, just so you know. Yeah. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you missed some of the stream and you want to have more educational content, if you go to my YouTube channel, I mean, you can just get access to like all the VODs and stuff. So if you go ahead and do this, like if you go to my YouTube channel, oh, I messed this one up now. Hold on. So there you go. If you go to my YouTube channel, and then you can go to like playlist or live. If you go to live, you're gonna see like all the VODs on YouTube, or you can go on like playlist, and then you can click on educational live stream playlist. Or you can watch my video from yesterday where I played a campaign. That is available as well. New campaign mission. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe. That will be appreciated. And I hope to catch you definitely tomorrow again. If not today, maybe. I'm gonna try to maybe do another stream later today. But like I said, I'm not sure about it. We'll just see. Maybe I'm there, maybe I'm not. I'm gonna play some normal letter later today though. No more like educational stream later today. If I stream later today, it's gonna be like some chill games or whatever. So yeah. Thanks Noobling there for the sub. And yeah, catch you guys either tomorrow or perhaps later. So bye bye. See you.